and welcome to the Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse Shopping Network. Shipping Goblin Bob here is going to tell you all about our new Platinum Edition. It's my favorite.
Thanks, George. Friends, are you tired of putting a cat, a flask of poison, and a source of radiation into a sealed box and having to settle for a cat that's dead or alive? Well, Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse has the product for you. Introducing the Schrodinger's Cat Platinum Edition. With the Schrodinger's Platinum Box, you can have both versions of your pet at the same time. Free yourself from objective collapse and enjoy a cat that simultaneously exists in two decoherent realities. It's time for atomic indeterminacy to enter the macroscopic domain. It's time for Schrodinger's Cat Platinum Edition.
Yeah. She's totally dead. But totally alive.
Only from Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse. Simultaneously available and sold out now.
In a world wrought with demons, going to hell is the only way to get redemption. 5 adventures, 1 mission. This spring, join us as we descend into Avernus, the first layer of hell. Action, fire, brimstone. If you make a deal with the devil, you better be prepared to dance. Band of Badgers, Descent into Avernus, coming this May.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Mythic North. We'll be getting into that vibe shortly, but for now, hi there, welcome to Band of Badgers. How y'all doing? My name is Elle. Pleasure to see you all here. You may have to bear with us slightly today. Your storyteller's having some technical difficulties, so should that manifest, I'm terribly sorry. We're working our way through it. There we go. We also have raptor noises, just in case.
I was bearing with you.
Oh, I see. That was a bet. That makes more sense. Context is everything. Today we'll be continuing our foray into the weird and wonderful world of VAESEN. Our story today is called King Hunt, and you are watching episode 6, part 2 of the Wicked Secret Mystery. But, of course, I won't be just doing this by myself, because that would be ridiculous. I'm once again joined by our wonderful, wonderful group of players and special guests. I shall go around each of you in turn. Please let our audience know your name, your pronouns, and whereabouts they can find you on this grand old interwebs in which we live. So, Ree, would you kindly take the stage?
Hi, I'm Ree. You can find me as Romeo, Indigo, Echo, everywhere pretty much, or Ree.created, or just Ree. I have this giant cup that's the size of my head, and I prefer being she/her, please.
Hi, I am.
Jairus.
Oh, me then. Hello, I am Dangerous. You can find me on Twitter as Dangerous, D-A-N-E, Jerus, J-E-R-R-U-S. Pronoun are he, him. I'm going to be playing Alexander Kruger. Apologies for the accent.
Okay, and T.
Hi, Plasticity. Plasty, T, whichever. Pronouns he, him, usually, I think. I'm playing the ever so good intentioned, sure, whatever, Dr. Anki Salo in this group. I make no apologies for accents. I know I'm wrong.
As one does. And a good old priest.
Is that me? Sorry.
That is you, yeah.
Yes. Hi, my name's Joe, and I am playing Father Pavel today, the priest, which everyone seems to be blaming in chat. I don't know why, but thanks, Ree. And yeah, I'm on all socials as I'm a good demon honest. So give me a shout.
Okay, fantastic. And we are once again joined by our lovely special guest, the incredible Jamie Lawrence. Who are you? Where can we find you? All that good nonsense.
Ooh, it's actually my turn this time.
I'm sorry, the internet.
No, it's all right. It's all right. My name is Jamie. I work for Level Up Dice, and you can find the things that I do over at levelupdice.net. But more importantly than that, you can find me at @Grum on Twitter, and hanging out places like this, role-playing and generally using silly accents. I'm a he/him usually.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Thank you, players. Once again, I'm El, he, they. You can find me at Good and Chaotic on Twitter and various other hidey holes around the internet. I'm extremely predictable. Once again, thank you to our followers, including Beadle and Grims, the wonderful Free League, the publisher behind VAESEN. Thanks, guys. You're incredible. Thanks to their support, we have a copy of the core rulebook to give away today at the break, and just afterwards, we'll be talking to our league and very like that. And then giving away a copy of the rulebook. So that should be all good fun and dandy and stuff. Before we begin, of course, I will reiterate our usual warning. VAESEN is in fact a horror game. Things may get spooky. Things may get unpleasant. Should that happen, I will flash these lights red. When that occurs, please go away and get yourself a cup of tea and have a sit down elsewhere, or whatever you need to do. Take yourself away from the screen, and when the lights come back on to green again, you are safe to come back. So if the scene ever shifts unexpectedly, that is why that will be. So I think that is about it for all of our OC announcements. Are we ready to dive into the weird and wonderful world of VAESEN? Fabulous. So
Let's pretend so.
excellent, I can work with that. So last time on our story of King Hunt, our heroic Thursday's children were joined by an expert butler, one Thurston Rook, as they journeyed to heed the call of a local tycoon. Sir August Mayer introduced you to one of his employees, one of the two that he sent to the local village of Farnster. Young Gottfried came back with a blind of his mind by a large hulking beast of red eyes, with huge claws and massive teeth. The other, Niels, has not been seen since. Upon your trip to Farnster, you found out that Niels was indeed dead from the head of the town, Marta Karlstrom, who was putting you up during your stay here, and told you that you are to essentially you were given the quest by August, and August told her that you were here to find out what happened to Niels and to potentially settle the deal between Farnster and himself. You told her that was not the case. She told you, good, you will find the reception for such deals here. Having been told that no one would support that, you overheard her butler being told to watch, left you for her office in the sawmill. You went to the town hall, where you learned from the local hunter and one of the workers of the sawmill, Lawrence, that Marta was in fact wrong. There were a few people tempted to make the deal, including one Dorothea Skitt, one of the wealthiest people in town and the person who had given the two men a place to stay. He then told you that you might be one of the only tickets the people of Farnster have of getting out of here, and out of the near constant eye of Marta, who polices who goes in and out. You know so far that Niels' body is being kept suspiciously clean and undisturbed mausoleum. And there is a giant beast protecting the church, though afraid. You all know that Marta will be leaving her study at the sawmill shortly and making her way back home as the workday is coming to a close in Farnster. As you contemplate your next move, standing outside the town hall, you hear a fell howling from the woods that tears apart the tranquil forest air, rattling in the low throat of the church bell. And this is where we find our Thursday's children.
I think that the first noise that will be made is the loud ratcheting of a bullet into the rifle.
And I'll turn to Alexander and say, to help you fire even truer, may I have a look at your rifle just for one moment? I promise to obviously give it back to you.
You're asking me to relieve my rifle during.
I tell you what, you hold on to it, and I'll just study it for a moment, and I'll sort of rub my hands together and stand over, look over it, and just sort of recite a little. You hear me sort of mumbling a prayer over your rifle, and then I just sort of put my hands over the top of it and along the whole length of it. Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say, while they're playing with rifles, Thurston just takes like a stride forward in front of everyone else toward the forest.
Okay. Positioning yourself in front of the group, almost protecting
Mhm.
you. I see.
And I'm basically going to bless your rifle, which gives you +2 to a test of your choice.
Fun.
There you
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
As you sort of make your preparations, you see the people of Farnster, who initially paused in terror when the howl went out, have all paused, looked at one another, and then went about their day. This whole exchange has taken maybe about 10 seconds. There was a brief mumbling and muttering, but apart from that, everyone has hurriedly, mechanically, continuing about their lives as if it.
Sorry, Elle, can you repeat that?
They're essentially just continuing about their lives as if nothing happened. They seem now almost like the wolf howl never occurred at all.
Well, that is normal. In so much as normal to the point of suspicion.
Does it still seem like something's coming out of the woods, though?
Are you looking into the
Yeah.
woods itself?
Oh,
Alright.
yeah.
Let's have you make, everyone who is actively looking into the forest, let's have you make some logic and observation.
Let us see.
I have 1 success.
As do I.
Goose egg. Pavled it.
go.
The first paveling of the session.
Curses.
But it will not be the last. Oh, no, wait.
Because he touched my gun.
It's contagious!
Yep, I got
Pavel
nada.
is airborne.
I got 1 success.
Alright, okay. Alright, let's go around then. Who got 1 success?
Yo.
Alright. And anyone higher than 1?
No.
I see.
If we add them together, we got lots.
Of course. You know what? Teamwork. Yeah.
Here,
All right.
here, Ingrid, borrow my eyes. Maybe you can see better.
Okay.
She will take you up on that. Don't answer.
Yeah, right. So you have a look into the woods. Most of you peer around. You can't see past the denseness of the trees here. Farnster is deep, deep woods, and the edge of the clearing is thick forest. It seems to cut off completely into a thick wall of trees that seem to. Those you got 1 success. You peer deep enough into the tree line, and you see rustling. You do see movement, but you're not sure what it is, and frankly, it doesn't seem like the right size to be the beast you're chasing.
Are we wanting to go in after it?
Well,
What?
It
there
is a
always that option.
it is not a big one.
I am
Needs to be
certain
changed.
that, whilst that is a parameter we have to take into consideration, it is also very likely that if it has it out for us, it will come to us. Why face it on its turf?
You make good points.
Yeah, and we can, drink tea and eat apples and things back here if we can't do that in the forest.
Not with that proper kit, no. But I believe we were headed towards the church, yes?
Mhm.
Although a vigilant eye towards our rear will certainly be a good idea. Incidentally, Father, a word, if you will.
Yes, certainly.
And Anki sort of just walks up next to him, puts a hand on his shoulder, remembering the conversation that was just had, and once again, how it seems to be that Father Pavel seems to be at the short end of all emotional traumatical sticks. And just look him in the eye and says, if it is any consolation, I do not think whatever happened to wherever you came from reflects any poorly on you, or the one that you speak for. After all, they sent you here, right?
Thank you for saying that. I did question for a long time whether I was the cause of that creature appearing in the church that evening.
I mean, the jury's still not out.
Ingrid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. Jeez.
What I'm trying to get across is, no matter what happened, you are surely no worse than any of us.
Yes.
I mean, speak for yourself.
Except you, Ingrid, and that's for not your definition of worse. But that is fine, because you disagree on this, and that is okay. We are all adults here.
Had all of you please make me a... Ooh, let's see. What shall it be here? I'm torn as to what the role should be here. Okay, let's make logic vigilance.
Oh no.
Logic vigilance.
Why are you the way that you are?
Myself as well, yeah?
Yes, please.
I've been resting all of my D6s six-sided up, so all the way good.
I got no successes.
I also straight up paddled it.
I'm going to try it a different way this time. I'm going to roll them separately in 2 groups of 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah!
I do not believe that mediocrity is the anti-Pavel, but I did roll 1 success.
Okay.
Yeah, I got one as well.
1 success. Those of you who got 1 success, you hear... Whereabouts are you standing? You're in front of the town hall still, aren't you?
We were just about to head our way to the church, so we have, probably just moved maybe about 10 meters from the Apple Marketplace.
As you move between sort of the town hall and the grocery store as you head towards the church, there is an alleyway that sort of diverts off to the side. And through this alleyway, you hear a fell wind begin to weave its way through. And it goes past you and winds its way past the town hall to an adjacent skinny alleyway with darkness looming in the shadows. And as it looms its way past, you can feel the cold, icy fingers running down the back of your spine as something whispers in your ear, "Charlatan!" And for some reason, you know that the only one that was meant for was Father Pavel.
What did you do?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I also don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
I don't know. What am I talking about? I look pointedly at Father Pavel.
The further we can get, or rather the closer we can get to the church, the better.
Okay. You all make your way towards the looming building of the church. It's an imposing brick building of grey stone, with ivory anchoring its deep foundations into the floor. It looks like it grew up from the forest itself rather than being built from human hands, and the dark interior is lit only by dim candlelight that you can just see peeking out from the interior through oak double doors, as if sort of performing some strange dance on the cobblestones. The windows are age-clouded glass. Beside it is a large graveyard, maybe about the size of the town proper, if not half that, easily half the size of the village, with a large mausoleum in the middle of it. Only the mausoleum seems to be the gravestone that is well kept here. It is easily twice the size of many of the gravestones proper, yet it shows a lot less signs of wear and tear. Similarly, interestingly, many of the tombstones are carefully named and dated, but even as you walk up, you can see that even at this distance, the mausoleum seems to bear no such identification. The doors of the mausoleum are closed.
As we walk up to the church, Alexander will just go, "Is anyone here not a believer?"
I am not a believer.
Interesting.
My name is Ingrid. Nice to meet you.
Oh, I believe that you believe in many things.
Mm-hmm. Just not.
That one.
Look pointedly at Father Pavel. Let's just...
I'll look at Alexander and say, I have tried.
It's not my place to judge, nor is it to push faith, but if the thing that we are fighting is what I think it is, there is a distinct target that may be put on your backs for blasphemy.
I mean...
So perhaps be careful with what you do and do not say, or do and do not believe while inside the church.
Could you perhaps elaborate a bit? Because It causes much tension for me when I do not know what you're talking about.
He's asking if you believe in the Christian God, Thirst.
No, I mean the monster. What is the
We
monster?
are potentially fighting a Grim, a creature that stands around the objects of faith around the world. They are different versions wherever you find them. There is the Grim that lives in the north. There is the golems that live along the Jewish and the Judaism. There is Asian, Muslim, Christian. There is all different types, but they're similar. They are all the Grim. They work alongside faith, and wherever the faith of the area is strongest. So this originally was that of the Norse religion, the Odin and things of that nature, whereas now it has moved more into the Christian faith. So the Grim alters where the faith is the most strong, yes.
Or he
It
could
does
just be a
not
really confused
the idea.
werewolf.
Pardon?
Or it could just be a really confused werewolf.
It could also be a really confused werewolf. I'm merely stating that these are the two things that we could be fighting.
I mean, I hope it's not a really confused werewolf. I'd rather fight
I hope we do not end up fighting anything. That would probably go bad for us.
I second that notion, Thorsten.
As you're sort of having this discussion, you hear feet walking with purpose behind you. You hear footsteps in the gravel, and you turn around to see sort of a maybe mid-50s gentleman striding up to you. He's wearing sort of practical traveler's clothing. He's got a satchel over one side, and he's leading a horse. Looking around, he seems to be asking everyone if they've seen the folks who came here a couple of days ago, and being pointed in your direction. And as he does so, he walks over. He's like, hello. I have something for you. I was told to deliver it to the people that August Mayer sent here. Is that you?
Yes, we resemble that description. And from whom do we owe the pleasure?
Oh, I'm just a courier man, but I was told by somebody that this was from a friend. Here you go. I've already been paid. Don't worry about it. And he does sort of turn on his heel and walk away.
Somehow that worries me even more. I will look at the parcel.
Yeah, you have in your hands a small slip of paper, unsealed. It seems to be maybe torn out of a journal.
The suspense is killing.
It's also very hastily handwritten, and the contents of the notes is: friends, Farnster is not what it seems. Although it is a Christian settlement, the church is older. It is a pagan village that converted to Christianity in the 12th century and maintains some of its old practices and rituals. There are rumors that have persisted to this day. Specifically, the practice that has supposedly survived tells practitioners that the church requires sacrifice to keep the lands in bloom. Whatever watches the church is linked to the sacrifice. There are rumors of a rich iron deposit in the area, one that the town is trying to keep closely guarded. The elders of the town will know more. Be safe. And at the bottom is a paw print.
Wow.
What does it say? What does it say? What does it say? I snatch it.
I was just about to...
Hey,
It's a
Father
little
Pavel.
concerning when people.
Hey, Father
I'm gonna
Pavel.
get a stick to. I'm gonna get a stick to bonk you with.
I'm gonna hand Father Pavel the letter, and then it starts like strutting around like a very proud cat.
It is a little concerning when people end a missive with "Be safe."
Yes.
Well, it is a common way of ending messages, of ending greetings. Be safe on your journeys, be safe in face of certain... Okay, I will not sugarcoat it, we may be fucked.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, well,
Can those of you who have, sorry.
that's okay. What are we doing with the mausoleum now that we are here?
I believe we are talking to the priest first and foremost to see if we can look at the body of the poor man who was found dead. to see if we can determine anything from that. And also the priest himself, who we are told is a good man, but caught up in things that may be, yes, Ingrid?
I was going to say, I think Thurston's question is, if that's our case, why are we out here next to this old mausoleum instead of in the actual building?
Yeah,
I thought-
Ingrid is astute. I have to give her this one.
Who?
We're in
Who led
front
us to
of
the
a
wrong
grave!
building?
This is a grave! Old grave! You know what grave is? I knock on the door. Grave, see? Ding ding. Grave. No one home. Dead.
I
You
will
remember
grab
what they, s- you
Ingrid
remember
by
what
the
they said about
shoulders.
blasphemy, yes?
Yeah.
It's alright.
and
think this is-
move her from the mausoleum.
I think this is the
Okay.
first time Ingrid's been called astute.
That is a lie.
Blasphemy only counts if you're actually being blasphemous to the religion it's meant for.
Okay, as you all sort of walk away from this mausoleum and head inside the church proper, you see, as you push open these very heavy doors, you see the candlelight that casts shadows over the floor. You see pews on either side, simple altar at the back, by which is a small, sort of mousy older man standing holding a broom as he sweeps the floors. There's also a door at the very back, seeming to lead to maybe a sanctum area or a private space. The doors sort of swing shut naturally as you all walk in, and as you do so, the door at the back of this place that was open, he looks at all of you and slams it shut, and then continues sweeping for a moment, looks up, and very performatively, as if he's going, didn't see you there, kind of trying to play off the door thing, but poorly. You see right through it. He puts the broom aside. He says, "Hello, can I help you at all? I don't recognize you."
Yes, we're sort of we've been tasked with looking into the sort of local area, the disappearance of a couple of individuals.
Oh dear. Are you a constabulary?
No, very much not. I'm a fellow man of the church. So.
Oh, of course. How silly. You have the yes. Right. Well, I suppose if you hear from a fellow institution, or
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh dear. Well, mission is it?
I suppose so. Yes.
Right.
I can't remember what the name of the individual is that we're looking for. That's really bad.
Gottfried.
Yes, thank
it would
you.
be the god.
No, sorry, Niels. Gottfried is the one who ran away scared. Niels is the dead guy.
Right. Quickly
I thought
trying to look
Niels
through
was
my
the-
notes.
Crazy guy? No, you're right. It is Niels. Is the
Anyway,
Gottfried is the crazy guy.
well, one individual seemed to go on slightly mad, should I say, with some rather interesting marks on his back, and another individual seemed to have perished. So
Oh.
And we were told the body is kept in the church.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
You just did! With that terrible lie. You can't lie to save your life, can you, love?
No, I can't.
Right. Can we- can
There
we-
are worse qualities.
Yes, it's nice being honest. Can we see it?
But why?
Because doing investigation to find out what killed. Yes.
I would very much like to know
Well,
whether or not I'm fighting a bear or a cat.
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest you, in fact, don't do any of those things. I would, in fact, maybe suggest you turn around and leave right now, and then leave this ridiculous little village and just go about your lives as if none of this ever happened.
Why do you seem so scared, little one?
It's almost nighttime. I'm
sooner-
scared to death.
the sooner
Sorry,
we
can
see
I
the
make a
body,
suggestion?
the sooner we can leave.
Of course, Thurston. Go for that suggestion.
Sure. Hi, I am Thurston. What is your name?
Nystrom. Father Nystrom, yes.
Nice to meet you, Father. It is very important when sweeping that you hold the broom with opposite grips, not same grip. Otherwise, you will give yourself terrible hand injury. It will hurt over time. Just one professional to another.
Also improves the posture.
Oh, I see. I was not aware that was a mistake I was making.
Also, my friends would
well,
very much like to see the body now.
Okay. Father Pavel, could you please make me an empathy manipulation check with 1, 2, 3 dice extra for the help of your friends?
I forgot I should have had my hat on this entire
Help!
time.
This entire time.
Beautiful.
Oh wait, were we supposed to be wearing hats today? I have a hat. Get it on
Plus
the break.
3 from
Actually,
my,
very warm.
plus an extra 4. Did you say? Or...
behind me? Sorry.
Cool.
It is
3.
it is 5 a.m.
Yes,
and I've
3.
never been so happy to wear a hat. It is cold.
Oh, bless you. It's nice
Beautiful.
and tweedy, so it's nice and warm, I imagine.
It wouldn't be a VAESEN session without big tweet energy.
Exactly. We all need it.
2.
2. That'll do.
Holy
Yes.
anti-Pavel has risen.
Exactly. There we go.
Did you see how many dice I rolled?
True.
Shush. We're trying to do you a solid here.
Gift horses and mouths, my dude. Gift horses and mouths. You sort of give this guy a look of, come on. Like, after everyone's spoken, you sort of share a moment, and he does sort of wilt slightly. He's like, okay, just be quick about it. Just don't touch anything. Just come with me, okay? This way. And he does sort of turn around and lead you into the door that he previously shut. As he goes, he's sort of chattering about various things. He tells you that Gottfried and Niels actually consulted with him about how best to get the villagers to sell their land. As he's kind of trying to unlock various areas of the church as he walks through. He sort of tells you that the local feud between Dorothea and Marta has kind of come to a head lately, and everything's been a bit wild, which is why he stays in the church most of the time and doesn't leave, because frankly they scare him. He also sort of doesn't want people to sell the land, which is why he's been fairly out of sorts lately too, and he does sort of apologize for his demeanor, because he's been obviously trying to stop this feud from happening, and the whole ordeal is frankly quite distressing. He admits that Marta did actually come to talk to him about the two selling the land, and the fact that the two told Dorothea about an iron reserve under the town itself. And due to that, he's sort of like babbling about all these things, sort of giving you this information without really realizing he's giving it. And you are able to be led inside. There is a sort of a small bedroom. There's like a desk upon which sits a very heavy leather-bound tome, flipped open to one of 3 bookmarked pages. The priest hastily slams it shut as you all walk by. It sort of slides it into the corners, giving you all a look as he scuttles his way on through, as he continues on. As he takes you through this room and through another door beyond, a thicker one this time, he leads you to a set of stairs leading down. As you descend, the temperature cools significantly. As Nystrom leads you down alongside the chill, the other thing you notice is the smell. The stink of decay prickles at your nostrils, clawing at the back of your throat, and it makes you feel unclean and sullied. As you reach the bottom, you see a long, skinny wooden box on a table in the middle of a chilly room of aged stone tombs. The coffin is currently shut, but you don't need to be a doctor to know that that is where the smell is coming from.
Thurston reaches into his back pocket and takes out a handful of pegs and offers them round.
Smart man.
Putrefaction.
I can't believe you have a peg.
I don't know why, but I have them.
Always.
Oh my god.
Oh, look at you all with your peg stand.
I don't have a peg, Dad. I wish I did now.
I got hockey. I can put them up, but no.
I am wishing to take.
Why are you looking at me like that? I'm a butler. I had to hang clothes.
I am going to use it to peg up my hair.
Cool. It looks very nice.
And I'll turn to the sort
That
of
is
other
very
priest
elegant.
and say, would we be able to have a look? And I'll sort of point towards the coffin itself.
Nystrom says, yes, feel free, but I need to resume cleaning the church. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be there. Bye. And he's yes.
Just a question about this kid. Does he look?
Sorry.
He doesn't look like he's not like a priest, is he?
He is. He
Oh,
just looks
he
extremely
Okay.
unprepared for the role. If you would like to make an empathy observation check to learn more, you may.
My empathy, shockingly low.
Do have any empathy, sir?
I do, but it's not as good as my shooting.
He
I see.
traded most of his away for bullets at age 3.
Okay, apparently I managed to unpavel myself, and I got 2 successes.
Wow. You take a look at this younger man, and you do notice that he's got one of those faces that looks like he could be anywhere from like 21 to 27, right? Like he's got one of those faces that. Thanks. Smooth. Yeah. So he has got this kind of youthful demeanor about him. He's very nervous. Obviously, he's kind of hunched in on himself. He doesn't really hold himself correctly. You think he would probably be about 6 foot if he actually stood up properly.
You're just describing yourself. It's weird. It's a weird self-insert you're adding into the.
Wow! First of all, in what realm have I been anywhere near 6 foot, Cheris? 6
Suddenly
foot
the
is way out of
gargoyle
my
fell.
reach. Anyway, I could stand on my tiptoes and never reach 6 foot. Anyways, can you not? So, as you're sort of looking him over, you do actually notice that his robes are far too big for him as well. Stop. Cease.
I'm sorry. I regret nothing, but I apologize.
Do we need to ask El? Is it okay?
Do we need a 5-minute break while I figure out how to nuke this system from orbit? Anyway, he looks like he was the kind of person who has maybe been put into this role after an apprenticeship, perhaps, and hasn't quite read the manual yet, or learned how to take in his own clothing. So yeah, he seems young, unprepared, and thoroughly nervous for the stage that he's been put in, especially with the insurmountable seeming tasks that have been put on his plate. He just seems extremely nervous.
The Lord is testing him, and he did not study.
He did not study, man.
I don't mean to be presumptuous, but it seems like he could use a Thurston.
But yes, right now, Alexander, that is what you notice as he sort of tries to weasel his way back up into the church and away from you.
Could I shout after him? Could we have the keys if possible?
Yes. And he sort of comes back down and puts them on a hook.
Father, did you want me to make you some tea? Would that help you calm down?
If your question.
We also have stronger spirits if that is necessary.
Oh, good. We only really have communion wine, and even then, we sometimes don't have that because
He's now holding my bottle of liquor.
Really, they're not what they're supposed to be. Anyway, goodbye. And he does sort of turn around, try and leave again.
All right. So now we open the body box, yes?
Please, Ingrid.
I would prefer it if that was less of a we and more of an I, but that is just my personal
like
preferences.
Oh,
I
yes.
don't know the only doctor.
Just ask the lanky, tiny, skinny one to open the heavy box instead of, perhaps the big, bulky priest.
It is a wooden coffin. It is not a heavy stone tomb. It is a very flimsy wooden coffin that looks like it's constructed out of the cheapest stuff they had lying around.
I used my goddamn umbrella to whip the thing open.
Krug has a crowbar.
Wait. If acts of badness toward the church are going to attract attention, maybe I should open the box. That way you would be safe, yeah?
Yes. Well bottled.
He's
You
just scared
say
it's going
that,
to be a
but-
zombie that's going to eat him.
The what?
Well, that would also be fine because then I am first here and I can punch it. All right.
Go for it.
All right. Do you open it?
Yep.
I think
Okay.
yes. Are there any words?
Oh, good. The red light.
Code red. Code red.
Thurston, as you shove open... Thurston, as you shove open the coffin lid, it creaks open on hinges that were not made to hold this kind of weight. They seem to have been constructed out of maybe a half-pin barrel that was used on a cell door, that was used on a trunk case, that was just lying around someone's house. Inside is a body, perhaps about 5'8"-ish, maybe. And it is what is left of. It faces you with sunken eyes and sallow cheeks. The skin is pale and blotchy and disgusting. And even in this cool place, deep underground, decay has set in. The most ghastly part of it is the throat, which is missing. Not slit, like Oscar Hjort's at the Witch Cat, but gone completely, leaving only a gaping, bleeding hole, exposing innards at the bottom of the head and the start of the chest cavity, blackened, rusted, ragged flesh. And the flies, whilst they're not there, you feel like you can feel them crawling along your skin.
Thurston closes his eyes and breathes through his teeth for a few moments.
So,
Yes.
Doctor, what do you think could have done this?
Well, I will probably need to get a bit of a closer look. Can somebody hold? Oh, it's fairly well lit. Are any of the lighting's fixtures movable?
I'll hold a
Let's-
lantern for you.
Yep.
And hold the
Doctor
coffin with the other hand.
rolls up sleeves, and I would like to. It never feels good to say that you go elbow deep in the dead, but I would essentially like to see what has happened and fallen to this poor X-man.
Okay. As you investigate, you sort of bring your you bring your bag over, you get Thurston to hold a torch. Between the lot of Father Nystrom has left you sort of a matchbook beside the tomb itself so that you can have a better look around. Father,
It's a good thing that it's not
Dr.
further
Anki,
decomposed,
please
we would
roll-
explode.
True. Could you please roll me medicine, Dr. Anki?
Logic medicine, you say?
Correct.
Or precision logic?
Just to
Yes.
clarify something. You said that the corpse was bleeding. Do you mean that it's bloody, not that it's actively still bleeding 2 days after it's dead?
No, it is bloody and no one has cleaned it.
This
Gross.
is why every village needs a professional. Well, it takes a village to... whatever. Left, right, let's go. I have 2 6s.
I'm really upset at the
And-
quality of this
This
coffin.
person met It's pretty grim. It's not up to scratch at all, Thurston. And frankly, they could have done better and like maybe given half of a fuck. Like, it wouldn't have been difficult.
Addressed it.
Dr. Anki, this person has met a grisly end. The throat wound suggests a quick death when death came. Actually, I'm going to do this for this because this is not fun.
Red light.
Red light.
Red light.
The throat wound suggests a very quick death, but rolling up the trousers reveals more to the puzzle. Whatever did this bit down hard enough on his ankles to completely cleanly break the bones, both of them. And from this version of the bite marks, it looks like the jaws were big enough to bite clean through at the same time. It also looks like these happened whilst he was still alive. And from the dirt crusted under his fingernails, it left him alive long enough for him to try and spend his last moments trying to crawl away and bodily drag himself away from his attacker before he was killed.
Well, on the off chance that somebody thoroughly mishandled a field cannon, I'd say this was not that. The man did not die well. And I feel very slightly underdressed in the neck department. Whatever caused this, it was strong, it was fast, and I dare say that it may have had some rather ill intentions beyond just putting the man out of life. It seemed aggrieved.
You also find a couple of notes as you're sort of rummaging through his clothing. you find one that says, "To Mr. G. Hammerstrom, meet me at the church after dark. I have some words that may help in your endeavors. Regards, Father Nystrom." This seems to have been written on something that is maybe a letter header, sort of a piece of pre-made letter paper that's torn in half. There is a symbol at the top that isn't quite there enough to make out. It seems to be where the tear itself is, but it seems to be part of a round symbol interspersed by straight spokes that extend past the edge of the circle. There is also a second piece of paper, one in neat handwriting in all black block capitals, and it says, "I'm writing this in response to your previous letter regarding the developments in Farnster. In addition to purchasing its fertile forest, the discovery of an iron deposit has made securing Farnster a top priority. It is my understanding that most of it is located under the village church, but will have to be demolished. But I will naturally finance the construction of a new one. With the majority of landowners on my side, led by Dorothea Skit, this will not be a problem. Offer them whatever it takes. The deal must go through for the most valuable."
Ah,
Oh, that very much is a motive.
we should take this with us. It's proof that Dorothea wanted the deal. We've been told that no such deal is wanted by anyone. Also, can we shut the lid now? Oh, but before we do, I would like to check. I just want to have a look to see if I can try and figure out what kind of using sort of occults of what I know and the fact and the fact that I've come face to face with certain creatures in the past. I want to try and figure out if I know what it is, or at least if I know what it's not.
What? You know what is? Sorry.
What's killed the poor man in the coffin?
Okay. I will say, with all of you sort of putting your heads together and discussing everything, Ree, if you would like to make me what does your occult run off of?
I believe it's empathy and observation is occult.
Okay, I will have you make that, please, and I will have you make it with. Actually, let's give you this. If you make it with 5 additional dice, because everyone's sort of pooling their heads together and trying to figure this out.
Okay, 5 additional dice. I have 3 successes.
Fantastic. As you sort of all pull your.
Oh no.
Thursday's children. You have all come into contact with VAESEN before. You know, at least on a base level, what you are dealing with. It will be to do with nature. It will be potentially extremely angry, and it will need something very specific in order to sate it, because it will not be destroyed, not in the conventional sense. Between all of you, Alexander offers the information that he has in fact come across church grims before, beasts that hang around religious grounds, use it as a place of power. Often they are the spirits of deceased animals that the people who attend the church sacrifice in order to give that church a protector. Ingrid, you then part that because the specific ritual, I've seen it done before, and here's how you do it. You sort of talk them through what's usually done, up to and including knowing that the animal that is sacrificed must be buried in the church walls. Father Pavel, you back that up as well. You're kind of like, yeah, no, I've encountered before, and I know that in sate it, you must find the corpse that is buried in the walls and burn it. Dr. Anki, you sort of verify that that would be enough to destroy it, because you're like, yes, I understand burn bones, and how to do that. Get that. And Thurston, you sort of back that up as well with your knowledge, and you say, yeah, no, that definitely works. And you're sort of backing this whole process up as it goes through. Between all of you, you come to a fairly solid conclusion that this has to be a church grim, given the evidence.
All right, well, it looks like you were right, Alexander. Which explains why this poor man was killed if he was planning on destroying the entire building to rebuild another place elsewhere.
Now, the conversation must be had whether or not we attempt to find the bones of this animal first, or we try to lure the Grim out itself.
How do we do that? Just walk around, knock on the walls like we're looking for studs?
We ask the priest, and if the priest does not know, we ask the person who is most likely to have any sort of connection with it. That is not the priest, which is the Martha.
I would like to not ask the priest,
Why?
How so?
because the priest is clearly a wimp. And,
You think that is not the best way that we can get information from
I
him?
think this is the best way that our information immediately gets sent to people we don't want to have it. And also, I don't think that priest can tie his own shoelaces.
I would say that he's more scared than a wimp. He's dealing with a creature that's eating his his flock. And
Yes, right. Scared.
he's
He seems
rightfully
more scared
scared.
Yes, but he seems far more scared of Martha than a beast.
People can do a lot of things to you that the monsters can't.
Seems monstrous.
Could all of you please roll me a logic and vigilance test?
Beans.
It is
One
within-
success.
Keep looking at my sheet.
Straight up, Pavel it.
Oh no.
Ah, beans!
Hey, 2 successes.
Ooh.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Interesting.
Oh no, liar. That was plasticity that did that, not me.
Of course.
I failed.
Yeah, of course. I like how you've clocked on to the fact that maybe success isn't always a good thing. You sort of, as you're having all this discussion, those of you who rolled a 1, you begin to hear something akin to maybe a scuffle. You're not sure. You're hearing something going on up top there. There's a disturbance, but all of it was sort of catalyzed by the church door opening and slamming against the side of the church. You think, Father Pavel, you hear a little bit more. You're a little bit more clued in. As you hear this church door opening and slamming open, you hear the footfalls of heavy paws, the thun, over cobblestones, and then you hear somebody go to scream and it being choked out. You then hear very clear sounds of dragging.
Can I add to that list the sound of boots running to investigate?
Oh, I was thinking in the other direction.
Father, I will drag you with me into Doom if I have to.
I have no idea why you're all running. I can't hear a thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
you're all
but
headed
as
up.
soon as
Let's go.
You're all headed up.
yeah,
Get to the
if
father.
as soon as Kruger sees Dr. Anki run,
The red light
he's
is back on.
behind her, and just goes, what exactly is your plan? Are you going to medicine them to death? Let me go first. Get in front.
Okay. As you all explode into the church, you run through the sanctum, you bust the door open into the church proper, you scan the area around, and you don't need to make a roll to see what's going on here. The door to the church has been exploded open. The hinges have come away at the seams, and the door has actually been catapulted across the side of the church and exploded into splinters. The floor is spattered with blood, as are the walls. Arterial spurt everywhere. Something got an artery and it shows. There is this horrible trail of bright red fresh blood leading from the center of the church out the door, along with sort of scrabble marks in the blood, sort of disturbances like a puddle that has been splashed in. And as you sort of see this, you hear the sounds of something retreating fast to the north.
Can we? Where is the artery that is bleeding?
Where's the priest?
He is not here. The church is
This is why I'm
empty.
running.
There is nobody. Okay, Anki, you're still running?
I follow.
I'm
Anki.
running and I will hoist, hoping against hope, my preventative medicine.
Okay, you've got preventative medicine now. And Alexander, I assume you have your right.
What was that?
I assume you have your rifle, Alex.
I assume so. Yeah. I will also. I have bloodhounds, so I will be tracking where this blood is leading us.
You've had a bloodhound this entire time?
No, I.
he is the bloodhound.
No, he has the skill.
I was
He
like,
is the bloodhound.
you had a puppy and you didn't tell me? No, it's fine.
No.
It's fine.
It's actually his hat.
Yeah, so you exit this church and you sprint towards where these sounds are coming from. You hear a growling and a snarling and somebody gurgling out a cry of help as they are being dragged away, and you follow. And just as you exit the church, you see in the tree line, perhaps 10 meters back, a gigantic, hulking, fur-covered figure with humongous jaws, in which is clamped Father Nystrom as he is bleeding out and being dragged away. And just above where this body is, and these horrible dagger-like teeth are glowing coal red eyes.
Can I please take a shot at Father Nystrom?
Father Nystrom, yes, you may. Roll me your precision and violence, please.
Would you apply your blessing to this shot?
I believe you would.
You got a +2 on this if you want it.
Jesus. With marksman, if I have a +2, is that an extra 2 dice?
Stacks, yes.
Holy crap. Okay.
First
Becoming a priest with a blessed gun.
Okay.
I'm
Multiple things are happening at
Am I
once.
allowed to roll?
Yes.
Okay.
This is VAESEN. There is no limit.
At least they're not exploding dice.
Not this time.
I imagine that.
Ugh.
I rolled 11 dice. Would you like to know how many 6s I got?
Oh
None.
no.
1.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled 13 earlier and got 2. So
That is offensive.
All right. Alexander, you line up the shot and take it just as Thurston, you go into a full pelt sprint and you absolutely lunge for this beast. What are you aiming for? What's your intention with this move?
Just knock it down.
Knock it down?
Give him
Okay.
back!
Roll me your force and physique.
I will
Force
happily
and
aid in this,
physique.
if it is all possible.
My
Because that is
my
the
aim was
number one
to
priority.
shoot this man so that he no longer
I need
has
more
to
dice.
suffer. So
Okay.
that he-
Sorry, Dr. Anki, what is your intention?
To aid Thurston, because that is my
Aid
intention
Thurston.
as well.
Okay. We will say that you will be able to add an extra dice for this roll, Thurston. So roll with 1 extra.
Ooh. How does 4 6s sound?
Fucking hell. All right.
I'll take credit for one of those. I don't even care.
Dr. Anki and Thurston, you reach him just as Alexander's shot sort of strikes into his shoulder, maybe. It's sort of like here-ish. It's not fatal, but it's bad. You hear sort of the shattering of something very vital in there as the bullet enters and hits home. But you two, you sort of lunge forward. Thurston, you know,
I just tackle it head high.
You've been taught enough combat to know where to grab someone to free them from a grapple. Yeah, cool. You just fucking go. Are you going for the actual beast?
Mhm.
Easy, man. You grab the Grim, and it is huge. As you sort of go and lunge forward and you wrap your arms around this thing, it is like trying to give a grizzly bear a hug. You sort of wrap your arms around it and try and suplex it to the floor. You manage to catch it on an offbeat as it takes a step backwards, and you manage to catch it off balance. As you take it in your arms and you slam it to the ground, Dr. Anki, you poke out your foot and you trip it up. Between the two of you, this thing comes crashing to the ground, and in its shock, it releases Father Nystrom from its jaws, and it is prone on the floor, pushing itself back up, glaring at you all, and growling a menacing double tomba growl, like nothing you've ever heard before. It sounds like 5 different voices screaming in tandem. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, and those who lie betwixt, we are going to do an initiative. Going to initiative. How does that sound?
That actually sounds better than what I expected, which was fear tests.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for reminding me. Good old-
Happy to help.
I'm now
I
damn
use
you.
it.
Please roll me your logic. Can you please roll me your logic or empathy? I'm going to take this off the red light now because it's a little bit less grim, and now the descriptions are out of the way.
So just logic or empathy, yeah.
Logic or empathy, please. Yes.
I
2
got
6s.
Sorry.
Fantastic.
1 6.
On
The Doctor and Butler connection reigns supreme.
First nerd,
Oh.
bonus dice. Bonus dice because he's loyal.
This is where we find out that it's got a fear rating of 3 and we're still fecked.
All right, Pavel, how did we do?
Alright.
I think it's very fitting that in this instance I got none.
That makes a lot of
And
sense.
straight Pavel bit again.
right.
Amazing.
At
Order
some
has
point,
been
I'm gonna have to
restored.
figure out how to cause fear to unpavel Pavel.
You ain't
Okay.
afraid of that. You're afraid of me.
Yeah.
You are one
background.
ugly nether mother.
Listening.
All right.
Yes.
I'm going to pull for you all. So first of all, I'm going to pull for the Grim. I'm not going to tell you what he got. Ree, what did you get?
I got
Ingrid. Ingrid.
1.
Your fear test. Okay, you pass your fear test, and you got a 5 on your initiative.
Hooray!
Thurston, what did you get on your fear test?
2.
2. You managed to seal yourself. You sort of, as you manage to tackle this beast to the floor, you think, you ain't so tough. You got a 3 on your initiative.
Woo.
Alexander, what did you get?
Hello. I got a singular 1 for my fear test, and remember to pull twice for me.
I will do that now. Okay. You rolled a 1, which is enough. You manage to steal yourself. You find yourself reaching into your pocket to reload your gun, and with its weight in your hands, you feel better. You rolled a 6 on your initiative. Sorry, you pulled a 6. We're doing cards here. We don't mess with any of that.
Is that
rolling
the best of the 2?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
The lower number is the more successful one.
Yes.
Okay. And Dr. Anki,
Yes.
what
I
did you
rolled
roll for
2.
your 2? Okay. You sort of, after you have helped Thurston trip this up, you perhaps feel a little more settled in yourself that this thing is in fact A, corporeal, and B, perhaps beatable, question mark. You rolled a 1 on your initiative as you feel sort of the life thrown through you as you are ready to act. Father Pavel, you are not doing well, my guy. That is a solid 0, is it?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I've got some good news and bad news for you. You are going to be taking the frightened condition as you lock eyes with this creature as it brings itself up from the floor. It is larger than anything you have ever seen. Even the Grim you fought before was not this big. Bears you have seen are not this big. Anything you have seen is not this big. Should live to be the size of a door frame and thrive. This is an abomination and it is going to kill you. You are frightened. However, you're feeling pretty zippy. You got a 2. So, you know, there's some good news.
The sprightly priest.
Exactly, there's some
Here is
good
the
news and
quite
bad news.
powerful motivator after
Yeah,
all.
Yeah.
His wits, but ready to go.
Yeah.
Noodles and canoodles. And I am
Isn't this
going
exactly what happened with the merman?
Yep.
and I am going to also pull an extra initiative card for something that will be unveiled later.
Is it Father Nystrom?
You will find out.
Or is he gonna get stuck in, you bitch? Like, we don't care if you're just lying on the ground bleeding.
Honestly,
Get a
at
knife.
this point, it wouldn't surprise me if Father Nystrom was the Grim.
Look, wait, he's
All right.
eating himself?
If LL Cool J
No.
can stab a shark while being eaten by a shark, you can get a move on.
Oh, right, I forgot Father Nystrom was the little guy.
Yeah, yeah, he's the wimp getting
I
murdered
thought
by a
that-
bear.
I thought that was the ex-priest.
Given that
All
this
right.
is the first time that we've had combat since I've been here, I feel it's
Yeah.
really important to highlight my dark secret at the moment,
Oh yeah.
which is that
Oh yeah.
my anger and frustration attracts Vaesen.
Oh no!
Oh,
And
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean this sincerely. B.
Jamie, I cannot say this enough. You are a treasure and a delight, and I would have you run my table any day.
I second
Deep
this
breaths.
notion.
Deep breaths.
Dr. Anki, as
Yes.
you have tripped up this beast, Thurston sort of still backing out from his grapple with it on the floor as it lumbers back to its feet, what would you like to do? You are within grabbing distance of its jaws.
And where's Nystrom?
Nystrom is bleeding on the floor, but he has been released.
with some very swift arithmetics, what is the best preventative medicine to do here? It is actually not to try to shoot the Grim. It is to try to get myself and the bleeding, possibly dying, let's hope not, in all likelihood dying man, slightly further away from the jaws of death. Because the battle is a big boy.
Okay.
And I trust him.
All right, you're trying to pull the body away. I would say that, what is your physique?
Not great, but it's there.
Okay.
It is 3.
All right. I would say because that is kind of above average. You've done some working out in the past. You lift. You managed to sort of grab him around, maybe under his arms, trying to not agitate the wounds he's already received, sort of gaping horrible dagger-like wounds across his chest as this massive maw has clamped around him, and you drag him back maybe like 15 feet or so, enough to get him out of swiping range. Is there anything else you would like to do? That would be your slow action. But if you would like to reserve a fast action for maybe dodging an attack or getting out of the way of something, then that is also your prerogative.
I believe I will reserve that for later. I have some ideas, and they're all terrible, but they
I
are
love
in
it.
there.
We love to hear it. Father Pavel, what would you like to do?
I am going to leg it and basically run in the opposite direction, maybe find like a rather large tombstone to like crouch behind and just sort of hide, and you just hear, oh fuck, and I'm just gonna start like tearing at my collar to take my collar off and sort of my outer robe and stuff, so trying to like while still really frightened and shaking, like try to untie this knot around my neck. Could
you please make me a just double precision check, please?
Bravely ran away.
Yeah.
Oh, Father
This is not the time to get naked, Father.
Next, he's gonna roll to seduce the Grim.
3 successes.
3 successes. Okay, you sprint behind the mausoleum and you press yourself by the double doors. And as you're doing this, it's because it's sort of the other side of the Grim here. You've broken eye line with it. You know that if it looks, it cannot see you just from a scan. And you sort of feel a little more settled enough to be able to sort of shakily unpin everything. You throw the collar to the side, disrobe yourself, sort of underneath you've got your practical raiments and your usual garb, maybe a thick knit sweater, church outerwear, man.
Yep.
As you sort of press yourself against the side of this very elaborate stone mausoleum. And as you do so, you begin to hear from behind the double doors some far off voices. What is that? That's not talking, chanting. And it's as this occurs to you that we'll move on to the next person. Thurston, what is it you would like to do?
I would like to step forward and intimidate the VAESEN.
You'd like to? Okay. Please.
Go on, get out of here. Leave these people alone.
A man after my own heart.
Oh, you're wonderful. Okay, please roll me an empathy manipulation check to intimidate the VAESEN. Do you... this incident?
Beg your pardon?
Oh, hold on. Oh, can you repeat that again for us, Al?
Okay. Yes. Could you please roll me your empathy and manipulation? Do you have anything in particular that would help you in this incident?
Other apps.
Yeah. Just being me, really.
Just being you, I will take that into consideration.
I could rattle a gun around, but I don't think that that's scarier than Thurston.
You can rattle a gun around? Well, the oddest end.
I have rolled 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. Yes, just let me find my page again, because I have, for some reason...
I'm not entirely sure, considering what we're dealing with, if being really big and meaty is a, good or bad thing?
How many successes did you get, sorry?
2.
2. All right. Okay. As you sort of bring yourself up, you make yourself as big as possible. You're used to this. You're used to standing in the way of your charges and defending them. You are very, very good at it. And in the past, when you've done this, maybe with VAESEN it's been 50-50, but a pass-fail ratio, you've not got a bad one. And as you sort of stare this creature down, you lock eyes and you cannot move your gaze away. And we will resolve that on the VAESEN's turn.
Cool.
So, Ingrid, hello.
Can I also resolve a leap in the way? Reserve a leap in the way action.
Of course. I will consider that reserved. Ingrid, what would you like to do?
I would like to go and find Father Pavel.
Okay. You saw him peg it behind the mausoleum. It was not subtle. And you also, as you to look around, because all of this sort of happens in the same sort of maybe 3 seconds or so, you look around and you see a robe being thrown across the lawn.
Steal it.
Oh, beautiful.
Please steal it.
Make me a logic and vigilance roll.
Okay. Logic. I got 1 success.
Okay, as you run up to beside Father Pavel and you reach him, you also begin to hear this odd cacophony of voices, and it's coming from... No, that's right, it's coming from inside the mausoleum. But it seems very far away.
Alright, do I have the ability to speak with Father Pavel very quickly?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Because I
I've
don't
just
know.
been standing there as you ran the corner. I'm just there like they're eating priests. I'm
gonna pick up. Like I'll probably have picked up his robe on my way there, if that's okay. And I'd have just sort of handed his collar back to him off the ground and just gone, "Look, you're a stupid, misguided fool. I think what you believe does not really make any sense to me, but that's your choice. That's your prerogative. What I believe makes no sense to you. But you have to have the faith in you."
They don't even belong to me. Take them.
I put my hand on his shoulder. This is your path, Father Pavel.
No,
and
no.
nothing is going to happen to you if you believe in your path. Because the power you get from your beliefs is not from any strange magical place. It's from in you.
I don't want them.
And calm him down.
Okay, let's let Father Pavel get that last word out though.
I don't want them.
Okay. Ingrid, can you roll me empathy manipulation, please? And Father Pavel, let's make this a roll off for you. Let's have you make let's just make this opposed empathy manipulation. Father Pavel to kind of get you to leave him alone, and Ingrid to convince him to calm his shit a little bit.
Can I push my luck?
Of course you can. I love hearing that. Of course you may. Yes.
I'll take that.
Empathy manipulation. Okay.
Okay. Father Pavel, what did you roll? 3. Ingrid, what did you roll? 1. And, okay. Father Pavel, as you say, no, I don't want them. No, I don't want them. You're insisting, and you are slowly getting more stern as you say these things and more insistent. No, I don't want them. And at that moment, Ingrid, you realize what he means. He doesn't want them because they're not even his to claim in the first place. He's been lying to you this entire time. He is not a priest. You don't know what he is. And as this sort of occurs to you, you feel that hopelessness begin to take root in your chest as you realize that this is why you stayed in the woods in the first place. This is why you didn't go outside. This is why you don't talk to humans, because they lie and they cheat. What's the point? And as this occurs to you, you take the hopeless condition as you back away from Father Pavel. Okay.
Jack Hughes.
Oh my god.
Alexander, it is your turn, my shooty McShoot-face dude, as this heart-racing encounter happens.
Arguably after that I should shoot Pavel, right? But still. Okay, important question. Is the church made of stone?
Yes.
Bah, balls. I was going to set fire to it. I could still. Who knows?
With enough fire, anything is possible.
See, I'm having a thought here that it's not in the church. It's in another place of worship, i.e., the woods. Fuck. Like the sawmill or something like that, because I don't think it's in the woods.
What I will say is that you have only seen the church grim appear in and around the church, and you have only heard the rumors be in and around the church. I will give this to you as a GM. You
Okay.
will know that means that the church is the site of worship in question.
So for this big ass beastie, right?
Yes.
Cool. Gross. I know the only way to kill this thing is to burn its body, so I'm gonna book it into the church.
All right. Book it into the church. You're trying to find the body. Could you plake me? Plake? What is that? What are words? Could you please make me a logic and vigilance test, or logic and investigation, whichever's better?
Hold on just a second, because I think I might have something for this.
Ooh.
I am technically tracking prey. Can I have my bloodhound dice?
You may.
Yeah. Slightly better. So my logic and vigilance, and then I get an additional 2. Pray for mojo.
Sorry for murder.
I'm still laughing.
I got a
Ree's
single
face.
success, and it was a jack dice that fell off the table.
Wait, you got how many?
I got 1 success, and it was a jack dice that fell off the table.
I just got that song
Okay.
from The Lion King too. Deception.
You run into the church and you glance around, and as you're sort of scanning the walls, you know exactly what to look for, and you zero in with Terminator-like
Loose
precision.
bricks.
Oh, yeah. At
Hey,
the very
that
back
is
of the
my
wall.
bit. Don't steal my bit.
At the very back of the wall, just above the altar, you can see where the makeshift cross that has been constructed out of bronze has a hole directly in the middle. And as you enter the church and look directly down it, there is a brick at the back of the church in the far wall that is perfectly severed in half. And you know that's the weak spot. And you run towards it, trying
And
to...
it out straight inside, pry it open.
Yep. We are
Yep.
going to start. We're going to say that you can start that action as you sort of jam your bayonet inside and try and jimmy the bricks out of the wall. Okie dokie, Alexander. Thank you very much. Hey, it's Big Boy's turn. So, person, as you stare down this beast, it lumbers to its feet and it makes eye contact with you. And for a moment, you see it waver and it does sort of cower slightly. And then it realizes what it is and it surges back ever so slightly. It doesn't seem to want to take a bite at you. Something seems to be stopping it. Maybe there's something there that it recognizes in your eyes and it's not quite sure how to handle that. And you see it kind of like a cat cock its head to one side as it just stands in front of you and looms. Even to you, this beast is a mountain. But it's not attacking you. Ingrid and Father Pavel, as you are standing around the back of this mausoleum, you hear the chanting and you hear suddenly it stops. And at that moment, you hear the chanting turn into raised voices. You hear one particular voice yelling something a little louder than the others, and you hear footsteps beginning to make their way down an echoey cavern. You think maybe towards you.
It's just a fight club, don't worry.
For sure.
Real
Dr.
monsters was human all the time.
To the top of the round, Dr. Anki, what are your intentions?
Okay. To determine whether or not I can save this man's life.
Okay.
He's badly hurt. Can I stop him from death?
All right, I'm going to need you to make a logic and medicine check, please. Oh, precision and medicine check, actually. That's
Precision,
what
yeah.
And with your medical bag bonus, please.
I'm very happy to 7, 9. Ooh, 2 successes.
Okay. You 2 successes. You think if you get this man somewhere safe and operational in the next maybe 2 minutes, he might live, but you are going to need some expert equipment, and it is not looking good.
Okay. Very well then. In that case, I have a thing.
Go for it.
What, he's conscious still?
He is basically almost gone at this point. Whatever consciousness was left in him is relinquished to the briefest spark of light in his eyes. He is almost completely gone.
Feel bad that I shot him.
Yeah.
Do we go for the really stupid idea or the logical one?
Medicine brick.
Medicine brick.
No, we don't have medicine bricks. Actually, no, that's not a brick. So I have 2 doses of strong poison.
You do.
And I do have a bottle of fine liqueur.
Correct.
I wish to make this man's passing painless.
Okay. I will say that you can do this. Please roll me, let's say, double empathy for this.
So empathy and empathy.
Yes.
Cool. And this, ladies and gentlemen, and everything else is horrifying.
Yeah, that ain't great.
I straight up pavled, so I'll push my luck.
Okay.
Wait, no, if you pavel, do you bring him back to life?
You had to say that.
You poison him so well that you utterly failed to poison him, for sure.
Well, either which way, I push my luck. I have 0 successes. I have only despair and hatred.
Okay.
Woof.
Ooh, that's this is gonna be rough, buddy. You.
I am prepared.
I'm gonna turn on the red light for this one. You
Thank you.
Red light.
mix the poison with the liquor, and as you uncork it, the smell of heady fine wines, berries, liquor, fermented fruits sort of winds its way into the forest there, melds with the pines, and for a moment it calms you and steadies you, and you can put the you get out the other vial, and it's as you uncork this the gravity of what you're about to do settles in, and as you empty the almond smelling liquid into this grape smelling wine and you swirl it around and you get ready, you look over at Father Nystrom, and he is very nearly gone, but there is something there. There is something in his eyes that is trying to cling.
If only this was
We
the
may
first
need
His
to
own
time.
repeat
blood,
that,
and he gurgles his intestines.
El, we may need you to repeat that.
That's what is left of him within this shell that he cannot move. Oh, okay.
Go from eyes.
Hello. Okay, right. So he's sort of clinging to life still, and you watch him try and struggle for the last slivers of what is left of him inside this, essentially this cell that he has become stuck in, that he cannot move, he cannot speak, he can't even beg you for help. He is just stuck in this state. And it is as you bring this tincture to his lips and feed it to him that you see that struggle begin to fade and begin to die. And slowly, as his heaving, gurgling lungs and breaths try and take this in, and he takes in the last of the alcohol, the struggle abates, the breathing stops, it shallows, it evens out. And Dr. Anki, you have seen this far too many times before. You have eased far too many people's passings like this, and it is an old wound that threatens to tear you apart. Please take the frightened and hopeless conditions as you find yourself unwittingly sinking to the forest floor, trying to find some remnants of what made you go on.
Why do I have to be holding a gun as well?
Yeah, it's not great.
You could have shot him!
Yes, I could have. But then they could have framed us for it.
Father Pavel, what would you like to do?
So, hearing there's people coming up the sort of steps from behind us from inside the mausoleum, correct?
Indeed, there are.
I think father has to be now said with air quotes. Father Pavel.
Father Favel.
I will once again, being my brave self, run towards Alexander Kruger to sort of warn him that there's going to be other individuals coming
Okay.
from towards the mausoleum. Sort of.
All right. Yep, you make your way towards the mausoleum, and as you enter the doors, you have enough time to yell your warnings at Kruger as you enter. All right, cool. Sort of as you make your way up, are you trying to reach him at the altar, or are you stopping in the doorway?
Alexander, so is he up above us, is he? Or...
No, you can see him at the very opposite end of the church behind the altar, pulling bricks out of the wall.
Okay, yeah, I'll just sort of yell towards him that I can hear other individuals coming towards us.
All right.
Fantastic.
Okey-dokey.
Little busy. Flying bricks out of a wall.
All right, and we will actually take our break there, guys, because it is 10:30. Everybody, please go and take a quick 10, get a break, get a drink, decompress a little bit. We will come back to our story shortly for the resolution of some very, very intense scenes. Thank you all for sticking around. I hope you've all enjoyed it. We will be back very shortly for a chat with lovely Jamie here and to continue the nonsense. So yeah, please don't go anywhere. See you in a bit.
Hi, everybody. I'm George.
And I'm Bob. We're the Shipping Goblins from Beetle and Cribs. Today, we're going to talk about the amazing Map Vault Collection. And with the Map Vault Collection, you get a bunch of gorgeous two-sided maps, all scaled for standard minis.
Yeah, get yours now for the Map Vault collection from Beetle and Grimm, and all the players at your table will be revved up and hyper because the only thing they'll be able to say is...
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Zoinks!
Yeah, do it again.
Zoinks!
Hello?
Who do you think you are?
Yes, Mr. Lillard.
You're just some goblin.
Yes, sir.
You can't just go off and use my
It's your
voice
thing.
like that. I have rights.
Completely. We just thought...
Wait,
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna take this right to
yes,
the
sir.
Beetle. Hey, Grim.
Thank you, sir.
What happened?
Matthew Lillard watches our show!
Okay.
Everybody, welcome back once again to the Mythic North. Lovely to see you. Thank you all for sticking around after the break, where we'll be doing a quick OC decompress before we go back into me tormenting these lovely people for another hour and a half. So we have with us today the amazing Jamie Lawrence. But before we have a chat to him about Level Up Dice and what they do and where they're about and who they're from, we will be having a giveaway. We have a lovely PDF of the VAESEN core rulebook to give away to one of y'all so that you can peruse it at your leisure. To win this lovely giveaway today, we will do a quick question. So today's going to be a little bit different. What is your favorite cryptid and why? Leave that in chat today and we will pick out our favorite answer. But for now, we're going to have a chat to Jamie. So Jamie, tell us a bit about Level Up Dice. What do y'all do?
Well, we make dice out of luxury materials. So crystal, semi-precious stone, aluminium, different metals, heavy metals, all sorts of cool stuff. I have samples. And we are basically just a bunch of gamers who are really passionate about our dice. It's so much fun working with these guys and just coming up with new and exciting ways to make really, really pretty click-clacks.
Yeah.
At the moment, we have a thing called a glyphic blind bag, which is like a little magic booster pack, but for dice. So I'm going to open one up so you can see.
Yes.
And so when you open one of these up, apart from a cool checklist, everyone likes a checklist. You get one of.
I love a checklist.
You get one of our dice at random, a little D6. These are all specially created just for this set, and I have got one of my favorites, which is the Art Deco Indian agate there. I've been rolling a handful of these for this game today, in fact. So that's perfect for me, because it adds to my collection. But yeah, we basically just make really cool dice out of really cool stuff and make tabletop games, feel that bit more special.
Yeah, absolutely. So where did you get your passion for sort of making dice? Where did that come from for you?
Well, I have a very good friend named Alex who owns a company named Level Up Dice. And I've been in the gaming industry. My first job out of school was in a game store. So I have been at it for a long time, and I have always liked dice. I've always collected them myself. So when the chance came up to actually, work with dice, it was like, cool, I'm in 100%. And now I do things like come and play on Band of Badges and show off dice. This is my job. It's great.
Fantastic. What's your favorite TTRPG? We've not actually broached that with you before. What's your baby?
Good question. I am probably best renowned for 7th Sea, which is a magnificent game. One of my absolute favorites. I've also done a bunch of Legend of the Five Rings in my time, and recently I've fallen pretty heavily in love with Sentinels of the Multiverse role-playing game. I do like Super's role-playing. It's
oh yes,
it's one of those dirty little passionate secrets. But yes, it looks like a really fantastic game. I'm waiting to get to a table.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, like, I've played 7th Sea and it's just like the most ridiculous fun, is it? Like,
It's so great. It's so great. Just what do you want to do? Cool, you do it.
yeah, just the mechanics of it are ridiculous. Also, like, because my character is essentially like the fancy doctor answer to Assassin's Creed. So he has all his doctor stuff, but then he can also break into a building completely easily because he has second story work. So he could just fucking scale a drain pipe like a weird noodle boy that is just going to crawl into the window. Ridiculous.
My players in my regular group have made friends with Thor. They have a horn that they can call him on when they go drinking, and he comes with them.
Oh,
It's pretty great.
that's wonderful. Right, how are we doing for answers for the rulebook there, Stacey?
I've got a few. I've got that one Sasquatch. Someone said Alf. I'm not sure if that's a. What
I
that
do
is.
love Alf.
Have you not seen an Alf,
No,
Stacey?
I've not seen
You're
Alf.
too young for Alf.
Maybe.
I've not seen
An
Alf.
alien life form.
Yeah, you're probably all too young for Alf.
So
My
good.
aunt had pillows with Alf.
Beautiful. We've got Nessie, the friendliest of cryptids, the only water creature that won't try to drown you in a lake.
That's a good reason.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And
Yeah.
The legendary El Polo Diablo of Porto Polo, i.e. the devil chicken of the Curse of Monkey Island. If video game exclusive cryptids are barred, then it's Sebi's uncle.
Wow. Okay. That was a very detailed response that I feel like deserves recognition.
And then
That is insane.
There's one more, but it's quite a long answer, so bear with me. Okay, if demons count, then Ukobak, the demon of the hearth, whose job it is to light the fires of hell. As far for more definite cryptids,
Skogstrol.
Thank you, Skogstrol. Beautiful woman, fire with a hollow wooden back. Also a foxtail. Be respectful to it, or you'll shit up.
There's a lot of hats on that creature in it. There's a lot of hats.
I don't know. I feel like that has to win simply for the level of effort that's gone into it. And I as a complete freaking cryptid nerd, I appreciate that because that were things that I did not know. So yeah, who was that?
That would be
Dricolath.
Dricolath, congratulations. If you would, you won last week, didn't they?
Yep.
Okay, Dricolath, if you have somebody that you would like to give your copy of the Core Rulebook of VAESEN to, that is completely fine. If you PM one of our mods with their email address, we can get sent them across to them so that you can give that to somebody that you care about. It's like Christmas, but cryptid.
Christmas. Wait.
All right, and with that, if we are all good and Cryptmas, precise. Merry Cryptmas. Oh man, so that excites me. If we are all ready, well, I say ready. If we are all willing to dive back into the madness, we have a conflict to resolve.
Yeah, have you seen my name on OBS?
As
well, just throwing it out there, my name on OBS.
Amazing.
People started spotting it because I may have defaced it during the break.
You're a graphical wizard, Stace.
We love that. So
I think the term is "Come on, do it! I'm here."
Speaking of that, Thurston's very loud, commanding, excellent voice. We have a situation wherein our lovely Thurston is facing down the church grim by himself in the forest. The body of the man who has been ripped to shreds by the grim has been dragged back by Dr. Unki Salo, who helped him pass from this world without pain. Ingrid is standing confused and worried and broken and betrayed by the mausoleum, as Father Pavel has informed her that he is in fact not a priest, and stripped off his robes and ran towards the church to inform Alexander that some more potential threats are on their way, as Alexander is clawing at the wall and trying to find the body of the cat that formed this beast. And that is where we find our Thursday's children as we come round to Thurston's turn in the round. Thurston, you are staring down this grim. It is staring you down and neither of you are moving. What would you like to do?
So did I see it sort of, take that not quite understanding step? That
You
tilt
very
of the
much
head,
saw it, yes.
Okay.
It
So,
seems cat-like, almost unsure
Mhm.
of what to make of you.
and I'm gonna switch tacks a little bit. I'm just gonna try and that's right. Be calm. There's no need to hurt these people. Good. Good. Ingrid, can you get the doctor's gun, please?
Okay.
Just
You're so very calm, measuring.
yeah, just trying to calm it down. Like it's okay. I'm not taking my eyes off it, but there's no need for trouble. It's okay. So I'm trying to just manipulate it into relaxing, not doing anything aggressive.
Okay. Ingrid, you very much hear Thurston say this as you're sort of hanging out by the mausoleum. And Thurston, could you please make me an empathy manipulation check? I'm just gonna say it.
I pavelled it, but I would like to. But I would like to push that roll if I could.
Go for it.
Ooh, I unpavelled it. I got 2 successes again.
Okay. Ooh, how are we gonna? Okay. You sort of bring yourself back and you sort of try and calm and measure yourself as you're giving this command to Ingrid. But it's as you give this that you see it very much lunge to the side of you, eyeing up Ingrid. And you can see from the look in its eyes, it is eyeing up where it wants to bite. And you think, no, Sonny Jim. And without consciously realizing, you find yourself rearing up and you find yourself that anger deep within your chest that you try and keep so repressed, that you try and cling to and keep it hidden within the deepest recesses of your soul. You feel it rearing its head, and before you can stop it, you say down, and you snap at this creature and you loom over it, and you actually bring your elbow down hard on its snout, and it whimpers and goes down on its front paws, and is just you over it, this posing waves of just threatening energy radiating off of you. Ingrid, he has completely changed. He has gone from this affable, larger gentleman to a complete terror. You do not want to go anywhere near him, and this Grim is feeling that energy, and it is terrified.
Don't you hurt them!
Okay. Ingrid, speaking of the devil.
Nobody's what they seem. The father isn't a father, he's a liar. And the sweet butler is terrifying. Dr. Anki's just a puddle of mess on the floor. And no one knows where Alex is. Well, at least I don't, because I wasn't looking when he ran off.
And I am also here.
But I've been asked to go and get Dr. Anki's gun, so I'm going to go and ask Dr. Anki for her gun, sorry.
Okay. Her gun is very much like on the ground beside her. Like she has had it at hand this whole time, and it's currently just sort of on top of her medical bag.
Okay, I picked that up, and I don't know what the scary butler wants to do with it, but, I'm gonna look around, see if I can see whatever the thing that was running up the corridor was, and if there's nothing there that I can see, probably go over to the I don't know, I don't want to go over to the scary butler. I'm just gonna stand here by Anki with the gun and just be like, and prepare myself.
Apologies, I think we're
attack.
back.
Hello?
There we go.
Yeah, I think in a nutshell, what I think I'm going to do is pick up the gun and check to see if there's anything coming out that I heard, because I heard things coming out of the mausoleum.
Yep.
Check if I see anything. If I don't, I'm just going to kind of stand near Anki with this gun, like, because I don't really want to go near the scary butler.
Of course. That is absolutely valid. I will say that you have an action in reserve, basically. So if you would like to take your fast or slow action in the coming turns, you may. Okay, thank you, Ingrid. Alexander, as you are clawing apart this wall in the back of the church, you are reaching around inside of this vast cavity inside of it, and you've strewn the bricks down on the floor. The dust is everywhere. You find yourself trying not to choke. You bring up your sort of jacket over your face to stymie it from going into your nose and into your mouth. Close your eyes for the worst of it. And as you begin to root around inside this massive cavity back here, it is a very clearly what used to be a chimney that has been retrofitted into a makeshift tomb. And as you are grasping, you feel something. There is something in the middle of this cavity space that is linen. It is something wrapped in a bundle of aged linen that as you touch it, it feels tacky almost.
Ew. I turn to Father Pavel. And I just go, I need you to get me something that I can set this on fire with.
On fire?
A lantern, a candle, a candelabra, anything you can find, yes? And I wrench that thing out of the out of the chimney and hurl it in like onto the altar.
Okay, so you're taking the corpse up and you're so sorry.
No, you're good.
You go.
Fuck's sake.
I would say
There we
all
go,
as
we're
well,
back.
but I would be lying because we are in a terrible situation.
Okay, so sorry, you are grabbing the corpse and putting it on the altar. Was that the
Yes. Putting it
Okay,
is a strong
fantastic.
word. Throwing it on.
Yes.
What's
You
the
see
good
it
with
onto the
desecration
altar.
between friends, eh?
You have frozen slightly. You are better now.
Fantastic. All right.
You are good.
Right. Great. Indeed. You grab a hold of this corpse and you throw it with all of your might down onto the altar.
good,
Red
the
light.
Red light.
Red light. Just for people who are not on the tab currently. You throw this linen down, and as it impacts on the altar, the linens, where they aren't bound properly, begin to unravel and unveil what lies within. The first thing you see is this linen on the inside is caked with blood, an old, aged blood too. This has been a very, very long time. At this point, it's more like it was either Vera smell. It stinks of decay and neglect and dust motes that have long since clogged up the insides of this thing. As the linens unravel, you see bones. They are clung to by what used to be flesh. Now it is simply just mummified scraps of leather clung to by clumps of hair in places. But as you throw it down on this altar, the cross goes clattering to the floor. The book nearby, it skids onto the floor as well. As Father Pavel, you run to try and find something flammable to stick on this thing. This church is absolutely littered with sort of flammable materials. There are candles everywhere. There are lamps with lamp oil. And you get, between the two of you, you could probably load this altar up with enough flammable liquids to take down most of the building.
Luckily speaking, the church is going to be demolished anyway, so. Light it up!
Is Alexander in fact the god of hellfire and he commands you to burn?
I will quote the crow, fire it up! Fire it up! I'm going to make a fire so big the gods will notice us
We love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have returned to us.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
He's fine, don't worry. We will vamp. We will vamp until you are arrived again.
Is this what we do?
Thank you.
It's okay.
Everyone has guns.
Ingrid's
Love
got
that.
a gun.
Just do
Ingrid's
it.
got a gun and 2
He's
knives.
got a gun and 2 knives and no
I
one
mean, I'll be
left.
perfectly honest. I've seen a man shot. I've seen a man have his throat torn out. I've seen everything that the Grim is and everything that Father Pablo Stern does. And the thing that terrifies me more than anything is the fact that Ingrid has a fucking gun.
Honestly, I think that out of everything, that is more than valid. All right.
You are back to us. You have returned.
Great. Ingrid, that was you. Alexander, that was you. Lovely. We love to see it. Oh boy, we love it. It's the big boy's turn. As you are all sort of watching this, well, I say all of you, Ingrid is watching this. Dr. Anki, you are watching this happen out of the corner of your eye, but you're not really paying it any attention. Thurston, you are staring down this beast and it is prone before you. It is terrified of you and it is going to try and throw off the effects of this fear. As it sort of lumbers there for a moment, unsure of itself, unsure of you, not sure exactly what you are, you feel it sort of lurch back away from you, and as it darts back, it seems to steal itself somewhat more, and its eyes set on you, and you feel back in your mind that anger. You find a connection, and you see a very familiar anger amplified in its eyes. You are birds of a feather in this moment as the Grim rages, throws back its head, howls its anger to the night sky, and then lunges for your throat. Could you please make me a physique and agility roll?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a terrifying time for Ingrid to have a gun?
Ingrid has a gun and a delayed action, so yes, that's a terrifying turn.
Whoa! I got 3 6s.
3 6s. Okay, and yeah, for the various delayed actions, what are your intentions?
I was going to say, rather than just moving out of the way, can I actually grab it so it doesn't go past me to anybody else?
You may. We will resolve that shortly. But Dr. Anki, Ingrid, you have both had held actions. What would you like to do?
Well, since I've just seen it lunge at Thurston there, I'm probably going to try and shoot it.
All right, let's have and ranged combat roll. And Dr. Anki.
Can I snap out of my despair and just go into fury in the way that this person, who is my friend, is holding the gun almost the wrong end, and I'd like to correct that. Thank you very much. Can I aid in the shooting? Because it's not my gun right now, but she's treating it wrong. And it pains me on the inside.
Okay, add an extra dice to your roll, please, Ingrid. We will say the bullet will resolve just as Thurston makes his move.
Okay, because I straight up paddled it.
Ooh. Would you like to push your luck, or are you going to leave it?
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna push me luck one more time because, you know,
Okie dokie.
I'm sitting here hopeless and I'm probably just, yeah. Why the hell not? Okay.
I'm going to get shot, aren't I?
No, you're not gonna get shot. I got a success.
Hey, great. You, Ingrid, you levy the gun at this beast. What conditions are you at currently?
I've only got hopeless at the moment.
Okay. You levy your gun at this beast and you fire and you see it strike center mass. As Thurston, you grab this beast and you actually grab it by its muzzle and manage to wrap your thumbs around it where at the very back, the teeth stop just before it reaches the jowls. You grab it and you just sort of shove it back, slamming the body into a tree as it just managed to get a good grip on it enough to catch it off balance once again. This
all right, you want to do this? Let's do this!
Yeah! This bullet wound gapes and simmers, and as you watch, you see as not blood falls from this wound, but something black and almost ashy that seems to pour out of it, and it stinks. It has a sulfurous, disgusting smell, and you just find yourself instinctively backing away from it, except for you, Thurston, who is like, never mind, bam! You are in the moment. We are frightened. The truth of what this creature is. This is no mere wolf. Thurston is grappling a VAESEN, and oh my god, that is a horrifying thing to consider. This person is your friend. You don't want to see them in danger like this. And yet they are. Okie dokie dokie. Right. As you all are going about your various tasks, the ones who are outside, you hear this very clearly. Even those of you in the church, you cannot really play it off. You hear coming up the stairs of the mausoleum, you hear footsteps begin to thud on the floor. You hear them echoing around this mausoleum. It's like an echo chamber. It's like a speaker system that plays this noise of impending doom out into the nearby forest, and it echoes around, even reverberates in the church bell. And as this happens, you hear the doors of the mausoleum slam open, and you hear Marta Karlstrom's voice say, "Get them!" And that is the initiative for the townsfolk. Okay.
B.
Dr. Anki. Dr. Anki, as you turn around, as you sort of correct Ingrid's posture with the gun, you turn around in time to see the mausoleum's doors slam open and people begin to emerge.
Well, if I can't keep people out of the ground, let's put some more in it, Ingrid Gun.
Yes! Get in the church! Get in the church! They can only come in through one door and I have a rifle.
You know, that is a salient point that somebody with Anki's background would probably make. Good, now let's move. I wish to dash over to the church.
Okay, dash over to church. Fantastic. As you all make your way over here, Ingrid, you dash past all these people, and just in time, one of them, seemingly the leader, you very much recognize her. She is draped in this long black robes, very ornate, hood down, and it's sort of like covered in these gilded threads that seem to be very high quality gold mix. And as you walk by, she very much lunges for you and is going to try and grab you. Can you please make me a physique and agility to get out of the way?
Is that me making a physique in it?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
that's sorry, Dr. Anki.
Oh, okay.
Un momento, por favor.
Or gun.
Physique and agility, eh? 1 success. I don't know whether counting count is on my mind right now, but perhaps it's to count our blessings or something.
Right, you manage to dodge Marta's grasping hand as she reaches out for you, and she sort of swears very loudly as you dart your way into the church and make your way towards Alexander. You very much see where Father Pavel and Alexander are beginning to load everything onto this altar. We're going to start to compress time ever so slightly. So Thurston, you are having a grapple with this beast, and we are going to resolve this combat. So we're going to resolve, first of all, Thurston and the Grim. Could you please roll me an agility to extricate yourself from the Grim as you see your allies begin to race towards the church?
I was actually going to ask, how close are the cultists to me and the Grim?
20 feet, maybe?
Could I try and pull the grapple over towards them and hurl the Grim into the crowd?
Of course you can. Make me that roll for you, and we will resolve this.
All right. That is force and physique.
Yep.
presumably?
I'm
I'm a
telling you,
big
we
fan
should
of-
hire this man.
There are a
I'm a
bunch
big
of
fan of
sixes
hitting.
there. If you know, okay. So may I describe this?
Of course you may. Please do.
Okay. Cool. So Thurston, having shoved the thing back into the tree, and it's been shot as well. While it is momentarily stunned, he grabs it by the feet and starts swinging in circles a couple of times. and then releases and literally hurls it into the crowd.
Fantastic. You hear
Bizarro.
screaming and
Bizarro.
tribulations as people scramble out of the way of this massive ball of like teeth and claws and fur and rage as it roly-polies into them, knocking them down like 9 pins. And it just lashes out of the nearest one with a wild swipe. And it's going to get... Fuck me. It takes down 2 people with its first swipe. And just begins to go absolutely ham, getting up onto its haunches, looking around, and then diving at the nearest passerby. Who is running for the church? Okay.
First now.
Good. Everybody is running for the church. Let's make since there are 3 of you, we will have 3 extra dice. Nominate somebody, please, to roll a physique and agility roll.
Not it.
Thurston, would you like to take one?
Sure.
I think it's probably going to be you, right?
Yeah.
Physique and agility. 1-6.
1-6. Okay, that's enough. As the 3 of you run for the church, Thurston, you get in the way of another cultist as they lunge for Ingrid's wrist, and just in time you slap them out of the way and usher Ingrid forward, sort of elbowing them back in the spleen so that they fall away, clutching their gut. And all of you manage to make your way into the church and slam the doors behind you as the crowd begins to emerge and encroach on you, momentarily distracted by the Grim, but a few of them are intent on their task, most notably Marta Karlstrom. Inside
Can the door
church,
be barred?
we will resolve that shortly. You have just made it inside. Meanwhile, inside the church, Father Pavel and Alexander, you have managed to grab everything vaguely flammable inside here. Lamp oil, matchbooks, anything, even linens, books, whatever it takes. You line it up on this altar and you light a match. Hello.
Not the Bibles.
Not the Bibles. Good job. You light this match, and I assume light the whole thing on fire.
Yeah. Can we put it in most churches they have like a big like almost like a giant bowl full of like holy water.
Yep.
Can we put it in that so that this whole place doesn't go up, because they're usually made of like stone or like metal?
What I will say is the cubby hole you pulled it out of looked like a chimney.
Yes, it did.
Yep.
Shove it back in that, light that. Yep, light that mother up.
Fantastic.
In which case, Alexander will turn and, using the actual church altar itself, put his rifle on and take aim at the door.
All right.
Just says, if you want to let her in, you can let her in. And I will hold fire until one of them, if anyone comes in this building that is not us, they're getting shot in the face.
Okay, those of you who are trying to bar the door, please roll me agility and physique again, with an amount of people who are helping you. So I imagine Thurston is going to be the one doing this again?
Yep.
I
Sure.
will assist.
Who is helping Thurston?
Help us both.
Okay.
Lovely.
3
That
additional
thing's
dice.
fired up behind us, hasn't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So 3 additional dice as Thurston. This will be happening as Alexander is lighting the match and chucking it onto the church Grim's body.
Oh, 1 success.
1 success is enough. You grab a nearby pew and you use the existing sort of iron spokes in the doors that would usually be used for a bar to sort of cram it onto the back of this thing. And with the help of your newfound friends, you manage to get it in a stable position where you feel like as it won't move. And your point is proven as on the other side, you hear someone yowl in rage and throw themselves bodily against the door. And it's as you do this that you hear that howl come again. And this time it is furious.
I will push back against the door and yell, "Hey, respect the craftsmanship of this door."
Could all of you please roll me logic?
Logic
Logic and learning, was it?
Yep.
Ooh, I have an advantage for this.
We
You
do
do.
have a bonus still.
Please use it.
Library buds. Thurston.
Yeah. I have 1 success.
Logic and learning.
1 success.
Fantastic.
The dice that I rolled 3 on, great.
Ooh,
Wow.
success.
Hey, that's what we're talking about. Those of you
Oh.
who rolled 1 success, as you're sort of scanning this church, you know that usually in old buildings like this, especially buildings of this age, and it looks like this building, like Esther, around the faith, at least, had been around since that usually denotes that the building has probably been here since then in some form of another as well. You know that usually in such places that have catacombs, it is not just the catacombs down there. And it is, as you think of this, Dr. Anki, you realize that the mausoleum having a way up and out means that the morgue should also have one. And
There is a back door.
Straight.
Let's get to the back door.
Okay.
okay. Okay. Ingrid, you have no idea. These churches are weird. These places are weird. Dr. Anki, you find yourself leading the charge as you have sort of declared this out to the crowd, and all of you begin to make your way down once again into the sanctum. As you descend into the morgue and look around, this time you notice something that you certainly hadn't been looking for last time. With this newly found light and with the newly found intensity of the situation, as you look around, you see that the tombs have been arranged in such a way that at the very back, there is one tomb that does not align quite right. It is tilted ever so slightly off kilter to the rest of them, whereas the rest of them are in a very standardized grid shape. Could all of you please roll me logic and investigation?
Are we still in a red light situation?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I should take that off.
And I should not try to roll in the Twitch chat.
I got 2!
Fantastic. Okay.
Straight
Nice
paddled.
Yeah,
Paddled.
paddled it.
Oh dear. All right.
Hold on. I have also.
Heck. How bad can it get? I'll push.
Push. Go for it.
Aren't you already on 3 conditions?
2.
Two.
Oh, okay.
Two, my dear. And there's always room to hurt the doctor more. Paddled.
Dr. Anki, what condition have you got left, my dear?
Angry and broken.
Angry.
If
All
it's
right.
mental you're on about.
Yep, that's exactly it. You are looking around this thing, and as you sort of hurriedly try and find something, anything, a switch, a pulley switch, anything make goddamn sense. Nothing around here has made logical goddamn sense, and it's about time that something did. You are owed that at least. You feel the rage begin to build in your system, and you just absolutely cannot stand this anymore. You sweep your hand along a nearby surface to just smash the candelabras down onto the floor as you just feel this bubbling rage burst out of your system. Ingrid, it is as Dr. Anki knocks this shit off the counter and just goes full rage stone that you look to the side and you do notice something that she has unveiled. With the things that she has knocked off, you can see that just beside this tomb, there appears to be some sort of pulley system triggered by what looks like a ball bearing.
Ooh, I like it. I would like to try pulling the pulley system.
Okay, as you do so, you see this, you pull a sort of a very elaborate cord, and you pull this lever down. And as you do so, you see this tiny little ball bearing. It can't be more than, the fingernail in size. You see it click, click, click down this sort of makeshift bamboo system. And slowly you watch as it winds its way around the tomb, round the back of it, and into a floor panel that has just moved away. You see it down into the darkness and echo around the stone of the church, and for a moment everything is silent. 5 seconds pass, 10 seconds pass, nothing happens. You begin to lose hope, and then you hear the grinding of stone on stone as the tomb slowly, laboriously makes its way back into place in the grid system, and the back wall grinds its way open to reveal a passageway into a stone dark tomb-like passage.
I'm gonna walk over to Dr. Anki and just sort of give her a hug around the shoulders. It's okay. You don't have to do everything. Your friends can help you. That is not a failing. I want to give her some inspiration if I can, and help her.
Yes, absolutely. Roll me your empathy and inspiration, you adorable son of a gun.
I feel better about this whole situation.
I really hope you succeed, or I'm gonna have to do something horrible.
I have 2 6s on that roll.
Fantastic. Okay. With your way out sort of open to you and the danger somewhat more behind you, as you can hear the sort of stench of burning hair and flesh outside from up in the church begin to make its way down here of the body of the what once was a cat burning into ashes. You feel something has been accomplished here. The danger has passed, and maybe it's okay to lean on your friends. No one is in immediate danger. You have done your job. You have done your best. You do not have to take this all out on yourself. And you hear Thurston's words, and it very much helps you recenter yourself. Please take back 2 of your conditions. So you are no longer angry or frightened, but you are still feeling a little bit sad.
This is fair.
Ingrid's just
Thank
a little
you.
bit annoyed.
That is a logical observation, Thurston.
We have kept you angry because it's way better for us to have you angry than sad.
I mean, I'm not the boss of this, okay?
I'm gonna just grumpily try and crawl in the tomb space.
Fair. You all begin to slowly get. I imagine you take some of the lighting from the mausoleum area, so you've got sort of torches, sconces on the walls, lanterns, such like. You take them with you to light your path on your way down, and just as you are making your way into these catacombs, it's a very sort of straight and narrow road. You get the idea that this was maybe something used to an escape route specifically for the churchgoers at one point. That has long since fallen into disrepair. The stench of dust is almost overbearing. It smells like musk, it smells like disuse, it smells like neglect and damp. But behind you, as you are all walking, you hear a sound that gives you hope. You hear a horrible yowl, and then a howl, and then a slow release of breath that audibly emanates throughout the entire landscape and even echoes down here in the catacombs that you move through as a release of magic is exhaled from this land. And you can feel in your chests as Thursday's children that something that was here, something powerful, something old, no longer is. Something has changed. And then there is silence. There is nothing but your footsteps as you make your way through this cavern and through the woods and up and out. Eventually up through the catacombs and into a clearing of some sorts. As you look around and get your bearings, you don't know how long you've traveled for. Maybe it's been hours, maybe half a day, maybe even a full day, you're not sure. It was a long time down there. You're hungry, you're tired, you're exhausted. But as you look around, you see that the clearing that you have entered to, with its soaring pines, its blue skies up above now, you see and hear the whirring and raging of machines against one another as you see the sawmill of August Mayer whirring its way into industrialism and into the future, not 100 meters from where you're standing, right by the river, just where you began.
There you go, see? All better.
Just as a quick question, it was... what was the name of the cult leader again?
Marta.
Marta, and
Halston.
she was the one in charge of the town, not the sawmill, right?
She was in charge of the town, yeah.
She was, yeah, I remember now. She was that one who was lying through her teeth directly to me.
Yes.
Cool. Gonna shoot her.
Yes, so this is actually not Farnster anymore. This is where you began all those 24 hours ago. Yeah, you have traveled for about 24 hours through this tomb system. It has been a long, hard journey, and you have ended up back with the industrial sawmill and the industrial town where August von Mayer gave you this quest. Now, I'm very aware of time, and we still have a few things to resolve. So I will say that for this scene, you may tell me how you would like to resolve your encounter with August Mayer, and we will roll necessary, but please let me know how you would like to handle that. You have a reward to collect, after all.
Well, the man's employee died, so he deserves the truth of the matter, does he not?
Yeah, I think the truth's very important.
I will shoot you.
Yeah, Father Pavel, you're sort of stood robeless and chagrined and sheepish at the back of the group, like, hi.
Best thing is, the only person who knows why he's robeless is me.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Not wrong.
I rescind my prior comment.
My priority is to get everyone some food and clothes and help them feel better after 24 hours of crawling through dusty tunnels.
Okay. So we will say that to compress time a little bit, you spend a day in the town of August von Mayer's industrial empire, getting your bearings a little bit. You get a drink, you are fed, you are given beds for the night. Very nice beds. August is very apologetic. He very much makes sure your reward is on its way. He promises that it will be waiting for you at Castle Gillencroots and for you, Thurston, wherever you deem fit. And he very much makes sure that you will be looked after. Hello, Alexander, you had a question first, and then I will get to you, Dr. Anki.
All right. I would like to go and check on that young lad who got bitten and started to freak the fuck out.
Okay, and Dr. Anki?
No, I will be dragged into that because there is no way something medical will escape from me. We need to do something. However, making a note to August that most of the townspeople are, in fact, just good, decent folk, and that Lawrence has my personal letter of recommendation.
Fantastic. Okay, easy enough done. As you all sort of, Dr. Anki and Alexander, you check in on Gottfried. You do notice that. Hello, Ingrid.
I was going to say that Ingrid would probably suggest that we don't tell them it was a Grim, because no one's going to believe that. And we tell them that Martha just had a giant dog she was using to rip people up to try and destroy the deal.
Easy enough.
Yeah, the baying of a great hound is usually a good excuse.
Yeah.
Easy enough. Okay, that being done, sort of you've given your excuses, you've ascertained your reward, you're feeling a little better, a little more recovered. Dr. Anki and Alexander, as you are shown once again into the room of the young man, Gottfried, he is in a much nicer room than before. He is no longer in that Spartan cell-like room. The door is no longer locked. He seems to be a lot better already. He is very still like emaciated, very sort of sallow. He doesn't look very happy, to say the least, but he is no longer sort of gibbering and crying in a corner. He is now sort of at a desk writing, and he looks pleased to see you as you walk in. Is there anything that you would like to get out of this interaction? If there is anything you would like to say to him?
Well, we found your friend, and although the news are not good, at least some amount of justice has come out of it. And that is sadly the long and short of it.
Okay. He is sad. He is mournful. He is obviously very upset that his friend is confirmed dead. You get the idea that maybe he was holding on to some kind of hope that he would still be alive. But even as you deliver him the news, you see it in his eyes that he knew this was coming, and he has kind of been preparing for it.
Dr. Anki euthanizes people and hope.
Yeah, he very much gives you a hug though, and thanks you for telling him, because for him it was worse for him to not know, basically. So he's very grateful for you telling him in person. You both get a drink. He sort of tells you his side of the story again in a little more cogent detail. Your stories both match up. He did indeed face down a church grim and survive, and interestingly, one of his elements of the story was the church grim coming in through the window and then altering its size to fit the space it was in, which is an interesting element of the tale that perhaps you didn't pick up on before. And as you're sort of coming to a close with this scene, all of you manage to conglomerate once again by the stagecoach in order to continue on your way back to Uppsala. Hello, Alexander, what would you like?
I would like to tell the man in charge that unfortunately it is my opinion that Gottfried should be recommended to a lunatic asylum.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that he should be put away for a long while he is not well. He is raving about lunatic things, about Grims, and about things of that nature. And I give him I give him the recommendations of a specific asylum that he should be sent to.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right.
I
And,
will do this out of Dr. Anki's ear because I feel that this is a private matter for me and this man. But no matter how much he begs, no matter how much he tells you that he is sane, he is not.
Okay.
He is a lunatic. You've seen how he behaves.
August is actually in agreement with you. He is very much concerned for Gottfried, and if you think that this is the best for him, he is going to take that into consideration as he considers his friend's future. And with that being done, you will make your way back to the stagecoach, find yourselves on a train again. Very comfortable. It's nice. You've managed to shower somewhat. You all take advantage of the bar car on your way back. Those of you who have suffered conditions, please take one of those back as you find yourselves being able to come back to yourselves somewhat during the course of this journey. And it is as you get off of this train that you notice, you look up, and the where have begun to get that overcast sheen once again as Sweden's weather systems reassert themselves over the land, and you begin to feel the trickling of rain begin to descend in little teardrops on top of the stagecoach as you make your way back to Uppsala.
On my hat.
This journey takes away down very wide roads that slowly become more densely packed on each side by looming trees as daytime fades into dusk and you begin to make your way back, and eventually into night as darkness drapes its skirts over the world. It's on this leg of the journey, just as you break into a clearing, a cross-section where a few roads meet, that you hear the driver cry out. As you hear her explain, you feel a sharp jolt and are almost thrown from your seat, the carriage coming to an abrupt stop. You hear your driver yell something indiscernible over the wind. And then the carriage stops. You hear her footsteps onto the floor outside as she disembarks and makes her way towards something out front.
I'll get out and help.
I'm gonna follow Thurston.
Yes.
All right, all of you disembark and rush towards the front of the cart. Again, it's sort of an overcast night now. The stars are beginning to blink into life above you. Overall, it would be a quite pleasant scene. It's a rather mild winter day, all things considered. The wind is still biting, it nips at you, but all in all, it's not terrible, except for the fact that your driver is looking hesitantly from you to something lying in the road. Is a person with their back to you, lying prone in thick traveling gear, prone and unmoving. Apart from Thurston, the rest of you, there's something oddly familiar about this person's clothing.
Yeah, nobody's stopping me. Running.
By oddly familiar, what do you mean?
If you would like to ruminate on that somewhat, please, empathy observation. Take as Dr. Anki, you rush over to this person.
There is no time for observation, only operation.
Yep, you run over with your medical bag and you turn them to face you as you try and decipher what exactly has gone wrong or what is ailing this person.
I begin checking the sightlines for any view of an ambush.
Okay, Thurston, what would you like to do?
I will aid the doctor because I also have some medical training.
Okay, you and Thurston have rushed over. Thurston is there with you. You are turning this person over. You are having a look. You are trying to see what's gone wrong. Father Pavel, or sorry, just Pavel. What is your intention in this instance?
It's Pavel. I'll go and stand near the individual that's laying on the snow as well, and just peer over at them as well.
Okay. For those of you who are near the body, as you turn them over, it takes you a minute to recognize him. There is so much blood. It takes red light. It cakes his hair, his mustache, his clothing, all stemming from a point blank gunshot wound to the head. It caves in the upper part of his skull as though it were a cheap vase. And Olaus Klint's face is sallow and gaunt, his skin post-mortem blotchy, and his once fine features mid-decay. All of you except Thurston recognize this man.
Oh my gosh. Olaus.
Yep,
He's been dead for a while now.
you're quite
You can
right. And
tell-
Dr. Anki, you also see this. It's possibly been about 2, 3, maybe 2 days,
How long have we been gone?
4-ish.
Why
I
would you
don't
just
care
dump
how
a man
I-
in the road like this?
Just
very
for a moment,
irresponsible.
my very vertically blessed friend. Anki will turn to the stagecoach person.
She looks appalled.
I do not care what it costs, he's coming with us.
Okay, fine.
We know this man.
I'm sorry. Okay,
So are we.
cool. I've got tarpaulin in the back. You can wrap them up in
Go
that.
Get it.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, if you go and get the wraps, it's kind of like, it looks like what is usually used to actually cover the stagecoach proper so that its passengers don't get soggy. You are able to bring these sort of canvas sheets down and sort of wrap Olaus in them. Is anyone giving a closer examination to the body before you wrap them up?
Yes.
He's
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Could the both of you please either roll me logic and precision and medicine, or logic and investigation, depending on your approach.
Logic and investigation for me.
Fantastic.
Medicine and precision. I think
Okay.
it's the same numbers anyway. Unless the medical bag comes into play here. Does it?
If you're doing an autopsy, then yes.
Yeah, I believe so.
Balancing out the Pavels this morning. I got 3 6s.
Ooh,
Yeah.
baby.
I
Okay.
got one, and I was doing my usual. What animal killed this thing?
All right.
1 success.
Okie dokie. 1 success. Those of you who got 1 success, you can tell that the gunshot wound is the only wound on the body. There is nothing else apart from that. It looks to be very clean. It is definitely what killed him. The 2 successes, were there any 2s? Just Thurston? Fantastic. Thurston, as you are looking around, you find notes on this body. Specifically, you find 2. You find 1 note that says, "Night will no longer be a problem. I will need to check the job has been done correctly before I deal with that Zacharias oath. As for you, go to the usual meeting spot and await further instruction." There is also another note that is a receipt for a lot of lamp oil.
Oh.
Somebody wanted to set something on fire.
We need to go home.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wrap the body up and throw it over my shoulder, respectfully.
Are you
And,
respectfully yeeting, for sure? Respectful
And-
fireman's lift.
and as I walk past the carriage driver, I'll say, "I will buy you new tops when we get back to town."
Thank you. Ugh. She gets
Can
ready
we
to
get
go.
to Uppsala?
It's probably about 9 hours if she rides hard, and she promises to go as fast as she can. Are you showing the notes and things that you found to the rest of your compatriots, Thurston?
Oh, definitely. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
the rest of you very much see these notes. Yeah. As the carriage lurches into life, you
Are we red
manage
still?
sorry, yes. I keep doing that. I'm terrible with that today, aren't I? That's not even the right light. That's blue. Tonight is the night for technical difficulties. The night symbol, yeah. Oh god, we don't know. We'll have to figure out what blue means. I don't know. Maybe it's code. Figure it out. As the carriage lurches
The
forward,
Thurston signal.
off you go. Your people need you.
Blue as the Kraken is here.
For sure. You manage to
No.
bundle up this body, put it in the back of the car. The stench by the end of the journey has become a little pungent. This is a body 2 days old. It is ripe and it is not pleasant. As you make your way back to Uppsala, though, you do as you promise. I assume you give the carriage person their money. They are very hurriedly ushering you out of this cart, and you manage to make your way back to Castle Gillicruz.
We tip
Thurston,
generously.
Thurston, are you going with them back to the castle?
Might as well stick around,
Okie dokie.
at least until we make sure that they're back and safe.
Also, we trust you to carry the body, of course.
Of course.
Ingrid's probably
Thurston-
like itching the whole time. Like, the house is on fire, the house is on fire, the house is on fire.
Yep. You, Thurston, with this body over your shoulder, you make your way back to Castle Gillencruz. Every other time that you have come back to the castle, it has been lit up with warmth and welcoming lights. Every single time there has been light spilling out through the windows onto the pathway, welcoming you back. There has been fire, which has caused smoke belching from the chimneys. And there has been a warm meal waiting for you. Not so today. As you approach the castle, it is dark. It is a hulking, imposing figure, just like when you first entered it. And as you push the doors open, it is cold. The fires have not been lit in this place for days. As you walk in, it is deathly, deathly silent. There are cupboards flung open. The tables have been shoved aside. There are secret cubby holes, some of which you didn't even know exist, flung open and emptied. There are linens thrown about the place. There are belongings thrown about the place. And many of the doors have been left ajar, swinging open to the night air.
Well, this place needs a butler.
Where is Sophia?
We had a butler.
We had a steward.
Same difference.
They are not, but I am not going to spend time correcting this.
Oh, yeah,
Are you looking for?
Torches.
You're looking for Sophia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All of you sort of run around the castle trying to find Sophia. You call her name. You even try and call Esther's name a few times. You try and see what would work. Anything, you don't hear a response and you don't find her anywhere. What you do find is that the back door shows signs of having been booted in. You also find that in one specific area, one specific office, the desk has been overturned. There are sort of books strewn about the place. The library really looks like it's been raided. As you go down into the occult library and occult archive specifically, things are missing. The big book that usually lies on the pedestal to open the archive is gone. The wolf skull that you used, Ingrid, is gone. Many of the artifacts that you had ascertained as of interest is gone, and something else is gone specifically that you notice. All of your notes, anything that you had written down about your adventures over the past weeks that you have been in Castle Gillencruz, anything that detailed your encounters with VAESEN has been taken.
There is no curse in any language I have encountered. But I am damn sure going to try.
I particularly like...
You just made that up.
No, it was said to me once by a thing I found in the woods. I only assumed it was a swear word because I couldn't understand it and it seemed pissed off.
I don't know what it meant either.
Not at all.
No. There is something else here.
What else? What else is here?
Something new. Hello, old friend. And it's as the voice in your head says this, that all of you feel a cold, shimmering presence, sort of fizzing at the back of your mind like soda. And as you sort of try and find what is causing this, Thurston, it seems oddly familiar to you, as in the doorway of the library, a figure appears. Translucent, shimmery, pale, seems to be a woman, maybe about 35-ish, sort of a very elegant dress, a book tucked under one arm, hair scraped back into a bun. She seems familiar somehow, and she smiles at you, and she says, Oh. Terribly sorry to interrupt. You can see me?
I always see things.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Do I
good.
know you?
They seem a friend. That's what my brain is telling me, friend.
She sort of drifts over to you. She doesn't walk, she glides. She is not touching the floor at all, and something about her seems stiff in places. Like when she moves, she has to consciously turn every joint before she can do so. And she moves over to you and caresses your face with cold fingertips, Thurston, and she says, "You do not know me, but I knew your parents."
You had parents?
I think she means my parents, maybe.
I know, that's what I'm asking. You had parents?
Everybody had parents at one point, Ingrid. That's a...
Yes, but there was a bit of an issue with that. Well, hello.
Hello. I am terribly sorry. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Emmeline. I would have introduced myself sooner, but the man who was calling himself Algot Frisk made it a trifle difficult. He had an odd gem. I don't know if you saw it. It made it very hard for me to speak to you. I could only do it in, more passive ways. I am terribly sorry if I caused distress at any point.
Where is he right now?
He fled. He tried to take the young girl with him, but she fought valiantly, and I managed to bring a beam down between them so that he could not grab her. She fled. I do not know what has happened to her since, but he also fled. He took most everything. I tried to stop him. There's only so much I can do.
Do you know where he has gone?
Unfortunately not, but I can show you something that might help you a little further in discrediting or destroying him, should you wish it.
Then you are a valued friend, and we thank you for your service provided.
You are most welcome. I have been here a very long time. I have served the society for centuries now. I served its founders when they found themselves in this place. So it is simply my joy to be able to help ones such as yourself. Please follow me. And with that, she turns in a sort of odd stop motion, like she's a puppet with too many strings that are pulling her all in the wrong directions. And she drifts down the corridor ahead of you. You are led down familiar halls. Thurston, this place, you've not seen it in a very, very long time. It has changed. You've always known that Castle Gillenkrooks was slightly non-Euclidean, but here is the proof of it. There are corridors where you do not remember corridors. There are rooms where you do not remember rooms being, and you get a sense that the castle is happy to see you. As you make your way down these hallways, Emmeline reaches a wall that once seemed so sturdy. She simply places her hand on a slightly loose panel, gives you all a look, and pushes it open to reveal some sort of study. It's oaken floors, high ceilings, a chandelier, large desk, bookcases. It is a fancy office. This is somewhere that someone has invested money to make nice. As you all walk in and begin to make your way around investigating this place, you see the bookshelves contain only one specific type of book. They are all the tomes that Carl Linnaeus has written over the course of his lifetime, including the original manuscripts of every single one. You also see a large steamer chest in the back that appears to be unlocked and sort of left ajar. You see on the desk, it has been mostly wiped clean, but taped to the edge of it is a picture of a man you don't recognize. there seems to be something written on the back.
I'll have a look at the picture.
As you
What's
pick
on
up
the
the
back?
picture, you peel it up from the desk, turn it over. It says A. Frisk, 1851.
It doesn't look like.
And that picture did not resemble the man who introduced himself as Frisk, I assume.
Does not. Looks
To
nothing like
resemble the spirit.
Nope.
Cool.
Just a person who is not this man.
I'll
Oh.
go have a look at the steamer chest, I guess.
Okay. As you go over to the trunk at the back here, you flip it open. Please make me a logic and learning test, and anyone who is helping, please add an additional dice for.
I'm very pleased.
I'll help out.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
How many extra dice do I get?
Is everybody helping, or just those three? Ingrid,
Ingrid is sad. Ingrid
are you
doesn't
chilling
want-
with Emmeline?
Yeah, Ingrid
That's
doesn't
fair.
want to help.
As you add 3 additional dice, as Ingrid, you feel almost like spider webs settling over you. You feel Emmeline put her hands on your shoulders, and sort of you feel a warmth settling through you, a sort of a calming energy that shouldn't really be possible from such cold hands. But she seems calming.
2 6s. Can I specifically look for secret compartments that may not have been found?
You may. As you look around this steamer trunk, you dig through manuscript after manuscript after manuscript. And as all of you help, you manage to get these pages out of here. It seems to be write-ups of various notes, but most notably, it all seems to be written by different people. Each one of these manuscripts is written by members of the society long past who have been on various adventures and excursions. And there is a mirror manuscript of the exact same ones, but with Carl Linnaeus's name on them. And for every manuscript written by a member of society, there is an exact replicate with Carl Linnaeus's name on them, matching up to a lot of the published books on the shelves. And as you dig around in the steamer trunk and get all of these files and these papers out of there, Alexander, you knock on the bottom, knock here, knock there. Finally, right in the middle, you strike gold. Using your bayonet, you pry it into the seam and jam this thing open. And as you do so, you find another manuscript. This one seems to be a Carl Linnaeus original. And the title is Dale Carlia, where Anki's Nan lives.
I wasn't gonna. I really wasn't.
I knew someone was gonna, man.
Oh, dear. Well, like, because everybody's pottering around and investigating things, Ingrid's gonna potter downstairs and she's gonna start shutting the windows and doors. She's gonna potter into the kitchen and she's gonna make food, because every time they come home, it's always warm and there's always food. And she's kind of getting used to this whole warm food thing. So she's gonna try and make food. That's what she's gonna do. And it's probably not gonna go well, but she's gonna give it a go.
Okay, Emmelina's going with you. Could you please make me a roll of... What do we use for cooking in this game?
I don't.
Definitely empathy. Or persuasion.
Empathy, inspiration, sure, because it's making something to try and make people feel better. And add 2 additional dice for Emmeline's help.
Inspiration.
This is empathy manipulation.
Aw. No, that would be Alexander making
I
gumbo.
got 2 successes.
2 successes, fantastic. As you make your way around the kitchen, you're not entirely sure where to start, but with Emmeline's help, she sort of guides you to the nearest cupboard. She shows you sort of what to do. You sort of are guided towards the correct cookbook. You're guided away from one that seems to have too many teeth, and you are told the page number of something that is quite simple. Between the two of you, you manage to get started on making a sort of nice winter stew. So you've got the onions that haven't gone bad. You get some carrots in there, some potatoes. Between the two of you, begin to simmer up a nice broth and make something quite tasty. The rest of you begin to smell this nice warm warming, welcoming scent of some sort of winter stew melded with various spices rising from the kitchen as you stand there holding this docket of information.
Well, once we are through looking through this, and whatever that smell is, which is pretty palpable and nice, has been dealt with. Sergeant, I would very much like to acquire your services for finding a person that is missing.
The little girl or the older man?
I imagine that if we find her, he will not be far behind. But one of them I care about saving.
Can I figure out how long roughly this was that it happened? Or have we been told that?
Make me a, let's say, investigation and logic test.
Yeah. 1-6. Yeah.
1-6. Okay. You know that it definitely would have taken place at least a few hours after you left. You know, with anyone who is staging this kind of robbery, you would have to have given it time. But you also can tell from the layer of dust over certain things that it happened a fair while ago, potentially 3 days. Yeah.
3 days. The likelihood of finding the girl has drastically changed. 3 days. Most likely she is hiding in the village, perhaps, but at the same time, maybe she has run to the woods. You know her better than I. Where would she go?
I can think of some places, but it will require some compilation of information.
Then that is where we will check first.
I believe where we should check first is where Ingrid went off to, because I'm already scared.
Okay. You all make your way down towards the kitchen for an evening meal. And the docket in your hands, as you scan through it, as you partake of this actually quite nice meal, you're perhaps a little surprised that there's not more mushrooms and suspect substances in here. It's not bad. Spice blend's quite nice, even by your standards, Thurston.
Though, you know, Father
not a bad
Pavel will
attempt.
find mushrooms in his.
Fantastic. It's not a bad attempt.
Just every night, just everyone's just putting bits of hair into the middle of the table.
Course, standard.
But it's tasty.
You begin to scan your way through the Delcalia document, and something sticks out to you as very important. These are the personal journal notes of one Carl Linnaeus's account of the Delcalia incident. This place is somewhere in society history that has been notoriously lost to time. And this docket details exactly how and exactly when every single member of that incident was to be killed.
When was Olaus Clint meant to be killed, or was he not in that document?
He is in that document, and it says to be disposed of when he is no longer of use.
Oof.
Ah.
Big oof.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest, my biggest oof is that we didn't get to do him in.
It's totally valid.
That's not entirely true. It's mostly true.
Yeah.
No, but true. All right. And as we all leave you scouring through these remnants of what has been left to you in your raided castle here in Uppsala, we draw back once again into the night as we leave Thurston and Ingrid and Alexander and Father Pavel and Dr. Anki partaking of some late night stew-shaped comforts with the hovering presence of one very long dead Emmeline standing nearby. And we once again take ourselves back into the Uppsala night and away for another day. Thank you all for playing. I hope it has been enjoyable. You've all been delights as players as per the usual. Thank you so much for joining us, Jamie Lawrence.
Yes.
You've been a delight, and I hope to see you back around a Badger's table again very soon.
It's so much fun.
Fantastic.
Can we adopt you or something?
Can we also just
Well-
appreciate how this man woke up at like 5 a.m. to come and play Mythic
Yeah.
Dwarf Monsters with us? Like, what a champion.
It's been getting progressively lighter out your window.
You guys,
Isn't it?
it has been. You guys have a castle that needs cleaning, and I'm a butler, so I
Yeah.
think there's a natural progression there.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, good to know.
have a
We
new
we may have
butler.
lost a steward and almost all hope, but we gained a true friend.
Yeah.
A true friend and a butler
works for
who is
us.
worth his
Yeah.
cop. Fantastic. So that will absolutely be sorted. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for sticking around to us today. Thank you for bearing with us through the technical difficulties. I'm so sorry. Hopefully it'll be sorted by next week. I feel so bad. But thank you for bearing with. And we appreciate you lots. Thank you, VAESEN, for supporting. Thank you, Beetle and Grims. And see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And later.
Yeah, your favorite clips on Twitter. Share them.
Yeah.
Share the
I
things
will
on Twitter.
on.
Yes. Tag us. Yell at us. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what freaked you out. Tell us
Thank
your
you, Baron.
theories. And
Yeah.
thank you, Baron, again, 'cause you are wonderful, and we appreciate your services. Yes, thank you all.
Bye.
Later. Later,
Bye.
skaters.